Hi everyone, welcome to 1 6 Figure Focus, and you're very welcome to episode number 51 of The Focus, a live stream dedicated to all things 1/6 scale related. This is a particularly exciting one because the four guests that I have here, not only are they big into Star Wars and Marvel and they're collectors, they have a lot of things in common actually besides that. Number one, they answered the call. If you've been following my live streams, you know that I am lastminute.link.com. I take a notion, I want to go online, I schedule a stream, and then I just bang out a few invites. So these people have answered the call, the last minute calls. Also, all four of us on the screen right now are going to Star Wars Celebration this Thursday, Friday. So, yeah, this is everyone. So we got Calvin, we got James, we got Triple G Comics. So we got Calvin from California. We got James beneath me here, a fellow Irishman. He's only about like an hour up the road. And we got Peter, who's not from Scotland. He is from Newcastle. So, how are we getting on, guys?
Top of the morning.
What's going on, guys?
I'm trying to teach these Americans that no one says that shit, and you're just you've undone about 3 live streams worth of effort, James. But we'll start with you. So, James, how are you getting on? 33 and a third.
I'm very good. 33. I'm very good, man. Thanks for the invite. I appreciate it. I followed your channel for a while. We used to do a Star Wars review show on another channel, so it's cool to be here. You know.
Excellent. No, thanks very much for answering the call. Obviously, this time is we're on hallowed ground here now, between Greenwich Mean Time 5 to 7 is Collectors Lounge International. Lael isn't doing the lounge. They messaged him, and I said I'm going to stream. So because he wasn't doing the lounge, but I've sent him an invite as well. He might pop in, but he's really busy preparing for. Obviously, he's coming over to Celebration as well. So
I still need a pack.
Stream Celebration. Pardon?
I still need a pack, so
I haven't even thought about it. Don't want to. I'm probably going to have to bring a laptop because I plan on I've got one of those GoPro gimbals, and I plan on taking a bit of footage and then maybe doing a live stream there or Insta Live or something, depending on what the Wi-Fi connection is like. Yeah. Then at least taking the footage down and taking it back with me and maybe doing a live stream later on in the evenings. But then again, I'll be out with Cheating all hours, so that's not going to happen.
We'll do a drunk 2 a.m. 2 a.m. stream, you know, why not?
2 a.m. messy live stream, that could be fun.
Yeah, that could be dangerous. That could be dangerous. Yeah. So moving on, then we'll go. I'm going anti-clockwise here. Well, the way I'm looking anyway. Peter, Triple G Comics. Do you want to give a shout out? Actually, first of all, before we move on, James, you have a YouTube channel, don't you?
Yeah, James T Keegan. So I mostly do PlayStation kind of content. So a lot of kind of video reviews, things like that. Lately, been doing a lot of shorts. So like kind of ranking video game franchises and things like that. So.
Cool. Right, what I'll do is I at some point in the stream, maybe if you want to even like Instagram or message me on Instagram actually I can do it here now. I can just get this set up because I want to get this banner done so that we'll actually be able to promote you as well. So if we have what are the letters? How do you spell it there?
Literally Ash and then James T Keegan, all one word, lowercase, I think.
Oh, that's your YouTube tag, yeah?
Yeah.
All right, so Ash, go on.
Yeah, James T Keegan, just all lowercase, I think.
James T Keegan, and so that's all I need because it's a new YouTube handle, isn't it?
Yeah. So James T Keegan is the name of the channel, and then at James T Keegan's the handle. So
is that okay?
Yeah, perfect.
Super, good stuff. So we'll move on then to Peter. You've got a channel as well. I'm going to do the same as well for you.
Yeah, sure. So I'm Triple G Comics. So just Triple G Comics ! Been on YouTube for a while. I do predominantly comic book related stuff. Last year I'm getting into 1/6 scale figures, and I'm getting into it bad. I've spent a stupid amount of money and bought a stupid amount of figures. Watched your show for ages, Shane. So really pleased to have been invited on here. If we're doing the stereotype thing, I guess I should be saying things like "Why man" and "Yeah" and stuff like that.
What's that?
Away the lads, stuff like that. You know that? Yeah, that's who I. That's my saying.
Was that English?
No, that's Geordie. It's a kind of
right.
a subset. Yeah.
Gotcha. It's another dialect.
Yeah.
It's funny actually because in Ireland, for such a small country, we have the weirdest, widest variety of accents. Would that be correct, James?
Absolutely. You walk 10 minutes down the road and they sound completely different.
It's mental. It's crazy. It's so again, with you're to be you're at, is it Triple J or Triple G?
G.
So there's just 3 G's no, yours is actually Triple G, isn't it?
Yeah.
So Triple G And it's comics, yeah? Okay, we get this right. So would that be correct? I just want to make sure I get this
With
right.
the exclamation mark at the end of it, Shane.
Yeah, brilliant. I'm going to make sure I get this right from the start. A bit of editing on this. Why is this not working for me? Aha, here we go. Sorry, folks. We'll get straight into this. I just want to give these guys a plug. So an exclamation mark. So we should be ready to go now. Would this be correct now?
Spot on. That's it.
Excellent. Good stuff. And then finishing the lap then anti-clockwise, Calvin, a.k.a. the low-key collector. You're in California, correct?
Yes, sir.
And how are you getting on, man?
I'm doing well. Like I said, looking forward to meeting up with some of the guys for Frankensons and then getting home and start packing, getting ready for Wednesday. We fly out Wednesday out of LAX and we arrive Thursday morning.
You're going to meet the El Profesoro today, yeah?
Correct.
Excellent stuff.
Eddie, if you guys remember, see some of the names in the chats, Cuervo, 16 Salvo, Late Bloomer is meeting up with us today.
So basically a lot of the cornerstones,
all the
key personalities in the community.
All the SoCal guys are meeting up today.
Good stuff. That sounds great. Excellent stuff. And do you want to plug your Instagram or anything?
It's what is it? Lowkey _ Kawi, Kawi for Kawasaki.
Okay. So if you wanna, is it Lowkey LOW?
LOKEY.
Oh, LOKEY. And it's Lowkey. Finish it
_
Yep.
KAWI.
KAWI. So at LOKEY _ KAWI. Is that correct?
Correct.
Excellent stuff. All right, so we'll get that up there as well. So that's your Instagram. Is that correct?
Yes, it is. Thank you.
Brilliant. Good stuff. All right, so really quickly, I'm going to fly through the chat. We have 23 people in the chat. I'd say these people were already sitting down waiting for Collectors International. They were chomping at the bit for some 6-scale content. We've all done it, folks. We've all done it. And so unfortunately, it's not taking place today. But we'll try and give you that kind of that 1-6 fix. Shout out to Marco actually, who's hit 1,000 subs. 1-6 fix,
yes,
Marco and Gigi.
Congrats.
If you haven't done so already. Yeah, 1/6 fix. Go over there and sub if you haven't done so already. We got Boba Fettuccini. We got Baby Boy. Shout out to Marco. Yeah, you said it. You're dead right. My nemesis, the 12-inch Moose Dream, who's flexing on that amazing 1/6 scale 1989 Batwing from Jazz Inc. That thing is absolutely beautiful. The photos he shared with me, they're just, they're amazing. I'm incredibly jealous, but at least I admit it. Andre, we have in here. We've got Trevor. Wish I could join. Watching you on the plane, though. Ah, interesting. Good stuff. No problem, Trevor. We got OG Fan. We got Winman as well in here. We have got top of the morning to you. Come here. You're already annoying me with that Batwing. James, look what you've started, James. Mark P is here. Ancient Silver Fox, so glad there's a live stream as my daughter deleted her Hogwarts Legacy character by accident. Oh no,
That's
shit.
gutting, man. About 100 hours that could be gone down the drain.
Yeah. That's tough. We've got Andre here, the not Scottish Geordie, right? We now know. I now know. Boba Fettuccini giving a direct order. Skillmonger. Some names just like roll off the tongue, like Boba Fettuccini, Skillmonger. I'm a big fan of Mugwump as well. Where are the enablers? Where there are enablers streaming, the enablers lounge is spirit. Yeah, you're right. You're dead right. They're at Shiny with the humor for us. We got Calvin in there as well. Brandon Salad. Brandon Salad was the first person ever to drop a super chat on my channel. Greatly appreciated. Thank you very much. You'll always have the first there. Shiny. We need a 1/6 figure of YI Man. What? Oh yeah, all right, yeah. That's I get you. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. This guy, this guy's sharp. Correct. Dairy based for me. Boba Fettuccini. Love Frankensons. That's where Calvin is heading today. Damon Zapp. Wouldn't mind a 1/6 scale cocaine bear and a couple of.
Brilliant film.
I've yet to see that film. I think I'll wait for the TV.
Switch your brain off stupid. Do you know what I mean? But it's fun.
Right.
Yeah.
I am. I went to see. I've seen Quantumania. I wasn't impressed, but the girlfriend's younger sister hadn't seen it, and we always go to see the MCU films together. And it's kind of on its tail end of its cinema visit, so we went to see it again yesterday. I have to say though, without any spoilers, there's some fight scenes that are done quite well, and I appreciate it more. With Ant-Man, with the the rapid shrinking, and like he's going from like miniature to regular size to big size. I have to say, those 2-3 minutes or whatever, those particular pretty cool, very well choreographed.
The end battle is very good, isn't it? I mean, the end battle is very good, but it's Ruby, I think.
Iron King saying, Calvin, why ain't you driving today? Man, give the guy a break. He's got a rest.
I've been doing it all week.
Yeah. Hey man, how are you? Sorry, I've been missing your streams. Well, no need to apologize, man. You gotta live. Recommend D&D for those who haven't watched it. That's probably
fantastic.
Dragons.
Yeah, blown away.
I've heard really good things. I think it might be lost on me now, but I'm looking
I'm
forward
not
to
gonna...
John Wick 4.
Oh, John Wick 4 is phenomenal. I'm not going to spoil Dungeons and Dragons, but if you, like I am, rooted in nostalgia and stuff like that, there's a cameo that is just mind-blowing. Love it.
Right, good stuff. This show is as international as it gets. We have, since Ireland, the Irish, and the centre of the world, right? We've got 2 Irish, a guy from Cali and a guy who's not from Scotland. He's from Newcastle. I've never been someone's nemesis. At this stage I'm very sarcastic. I'm just very, very jealous, but happy for you at the same time. It's just Jazz Inc. just delivered. It's that simple. But they delivered it to your address and not mine. If anyone in the area and free, we're meeting at Frank & Sons 11:30, so putting out the call there, Calvin. Alright, so Calvin, can't wait to welcome you in London, bro.
Yeah, man.
You got some fans, man.
I'm looking forward to it, man.
Excellent. Brilliant. Right, so what are we doing today? Really quickly, don't want to hold you hostage. Just going to go through a few new videos that are on my channel, a few new streams. Then we're going to talk about Double Trouble. I'm going to basically touch very, very briefly, not going to waste too much time on it, about the fact that I have had a little bit of an issue with my in-art Joker. Hot Toys Taiwan event. We'll look at some of those photos. I'll scroll through. You can jump in whenever you want and see what you're interested in and what looks good and what looks bad, what's missing. And then we're going to talk about the figures. I've labelled this week's announcements and releases, or this live stream, cheap week, because I wasn't interested in anything. And you need weeks like that if you want to survive in the hobby.
Yeah, I think so.
Absolutely. So this is my thoughts on the Luke Skywalker from Mando. The thoughts of the Batman quarter scale. Spoilers, I love them both. Finally, the in-art rooted 2-pack. And despite the issues I've encountered, it is an amazing piece. You might want to say it's phenomenal. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and play this video if you don't mind. It's 1 minute long, and I just it might make one of us laugh, or kind of you can get to annoy me, or basically laugh at me. But this is episode 4 in the Shit Collectors Say series. So much better than your Batmobile. The likeness is on point. Nah, I'm not seeing the likeness. This is a 10. Nah, something's off. It's there, but it's not there, but it's kind of there, but it's not really there. You know what I mean? Only open for inspection. $50 PayPal, friends and family. DM me for price. I know what I have. Displayed museum pose only in a smoke-free, pet-free, fun-free home. Well, in that case, you're SOL. SOL. Nah, man. You're SOL. You're SOL. And if that happens, you're SOL. It looks so much better in my hand. No, that sounds weird. We gotta stop saying that. Yeah, I missed out on that one. Peace and love, man. The community is so positive. This community is toxic. It's great. It's amazing. It's fantastic. It's phenomenal. 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 You gotta futz with it. You gotta futz with it. You gotta futz with it. I'm gonna wait and see what InArt does. Thanks for having me. Well, basically what's coming up on my channel is... Had to be done, folks. Has to be done. And we're all guilty. We're all guilty. We all...
What? It's scary because, like I say, I've only been collecting for about a year, but I've been watching all of your videos and everybody else's videos for ages and doing my own 1/6 unboxings. and I've just clocked. I've started seeing the word foots. I don't even know what friggin' foots means. But I keep saying, well, I don't think it's in the dictionary, is it? But I use that
should
term
be.
now. Yeah.
You know what, man? I have to Google, like, define foots, please. Define. I presume it's spelled Futz.
I would imagine so. Yeah.
Define foots. Informal and North American. Well, that's no surprise. It says waste time, idle, or busy oneself aimlessly. Maybe while you futz with things, it's considered wasting time.
Yeah.
But I would consider if it gets the figure to look the way it's supposed to do, it wouldn't be a waste of time. So maybe that's not. Maybe that's a different type of futz.
On this side of the pond, Shane, we'd say fiddle with.
Yeah.
Yeah, have to fiddle with it.
Now we want to keep the stream PC, James, right? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So you got apparently, guys, you got to futz with it. Yeah, the D100. We're going to touch on this later on, but the video is up. So is the thoughts on Jesse, Ultron, Kang, and the Silver Centurion. The hype, basically, is a live stream about the quarter scale Dark Knight, live stream about my initial reactions. It's not a review, it's kind of my initial reactions. I did this before I did a review, before I realised that these were both the same. So this brings us on. I've got a nice segue here now on this. I'd like your opinions on this. This is people in the chat and people obviously on the panel. With this, I find that in art in the community is a trigger word. You say it and you have some people there's a lot of people at extremes. Some people are like, it's going to be a Hot Toys killer. You know, if they do this right, they're going to take down Hot Toys, which I completely don't believe. And then the other side of things, it's like, it's almost like, okay, they're anti-in art. You know, I don't know, maybe they're like hardcore Hot Toys fanboys, or they're just like, they're completely anti-in art. They don't want them to succeed. Personally, I think I'm kind of somewhere in around the middle, but I'd lean towards giving in art a chance. I obviously did because I spent $1,000 on it. But with that being said, the figure's amazing, but you know there are issues with it. You know, I don't think there's too much of a deal breaker. The biggest deal breakers, well, no deal breakers. I'd send it back as a deal breaker. But when I got mine, the 2 rooted hair sculpts, they're in these little jars to protect, obviously, because the hair is styled, and they peg onto this little plastic piece. And when I got them, when I unboxed it, they were both free from the little peg. And because of that, then, like, if you look at this picture very closely, the one on the right, the one that's not wearing the purple coat, there's a tiny little nick on the nose.
Yeah.
And I remember taking them out, and that was the first, because I was like, oh god, this could be a disaster. Is there any damage? And like, some of the hair was tiny bit moved out of place. I was actually very impressed that the hair, despite the fact that they didn't actually stay on their pegs, the hair was still pretty good. And then, of course, you had to futz with it, and the hair was fine. And there is instructions now. There's a video up there in our tab where they show you how to style and stuff. Fine, that's fine. So I had contacted Lion Rock Toys, because that's where I got it from, and just said, look, there's a little nick in the nose, and explained that it come loose. And I remember thinking to myself, going, they look very similar, their expressions. I was like, that's a bit strange. But I kind of just was too excited, because the figure is, for the most part, the head sculpts are phenomenal. The rooted hair looks great. The paint applications, the tailoring, for the most part, like, it's a banger figure. It's going nowhere. It's not leaving my collection, even if I was told, yeah, you're not going to get another head sculpt. But after doing the review then, and like people had pointed out, going, I think they're the very same. And I took these 2 photos. They are the very same. Like, they're the same sculpt. They might look a little different because the hair is slightly different here, and because the rolling eyes are a bit different, and they're wearing different clothes. But this one, the one on the right, is supposed to be a smirking sculpt. So I contacted Lion Rock Toys, and I said, right, we got a bigger problem here. It's still a first world problem, but it's a bigger problem. The both sculpts are actually the same. And they were like, grand, look, Lion Rock, in fairness to them, it's not their fault. The shipper, which they double boxed, like, they didn't open and inspect the figure, because then it wouldn't be a new figure.
Yeah.
So they went through the effort of double boxing. Like, if you've seen the video, there's the big tombstone, And then there's the in-art shipper, which is, officially labeled in-art shipper, and then Lion Rock double boxed it. So it was huge. So they did their job right, but then obviously whoever, like the carrier, were just basically manhandling thing, and that obviously caused the heads to pop off, but that didn't cause the two heads to be the same. That's in-art's fuck up. Yeah. Let's be fair. So I'm kind of like, back to my original point is like, you have like some people thinking, oh, in-art are gonna, they're a Hot Toys killer. They're not. Then you have other people going, they want them to fail. I don't get that. I just don't get it. So I'm somewhere in the middle where obviously I lean towards in-art because I paid the money, but I'm not going to turn a blind eye to if they make a mistake, because I wouldn't turn a blind eye if Hot Toys made a mistake. So the fact that the things were loose, that's unacceptable. The fact that two head sculpts, unacceptable. Does not take away the figure being absolutely phenomenal. But shout out to Lion Rock. They got onto in-art, and in-art said they're going to replace it, but we'll wait and see. What do you think about this issue? Anyone want to jump in? Anyone at all? Anyone have anything to say?
So first of all, Shane, you've not paid a small amount for these figures, so you would expect these kind of issues to not be happening. And I've heard a few issues with this figure, including the weight of the grenades not being particularly good in terms of the ropes tangle and stuff. I got on this figure too late, so I picked mine up on the second-hand market. And you're right, it's a phenomenal figure. The sculpt is amazing. The face is stunning. But I've shot myself in the foot because my collection is rooted in nostalgia. And my in-art figure came... it's the non-rooted hair version. But my figure came on the same day as I got the Mars Toys 66 Joker. And I would pick the 66 Joker over this any day of the week. It's just phenomenal. So
and
I don't know
if that's like looking at it,
would
that be looking at it objectively, or is that like the nostalgia pulling at the heartstrings?
It's a nostalgia glasses on, without doubt. And I love this interpretation of the Joker, but when I had the two side by side, I couldn't help but smile at the 66 Joker.
Yeah, I get that.
But it's an amazing figure, and I've picked it up because on your recommendation, I picked up the DX19 a little while ago. So this will look phenomenal stood next to that figure, But the Mars Joker it's breathtaking. For an old man like me, it's breathtaking.
No, that's good. But even if you were to look at them objectively, that Mars Toys that's a pretty impressive piece. Like,
yeah. 3 head sculpts you get, and it's very good, very good.
Yeah. If they send you a replacement one, you have a spare rooted hair head sculpt?
James.
That's a very good point. But
I will make sure everyone hears about it if they don't. I'm trying to be neutral, but yeah.
Hypothetically, if you do though, like you have a spare rooted hair head sculpted, imagine a few people would pay a pretty penny for that. Even if there is an ink on it. Yeah, because you have to. You do have to get the 2-pack to get one rooted hair one, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
that would be like if someone had maybe bought the single sculpted and went, oh man, I should have went for the.
Well, that's where I'm at the moment. I've got the sculpted, and I'm looking at the rooted, thinking, shit, I should have gone.
Go all in.
Well, in fairness to Lion Rock, they got on it straight away. They contacted in-art and said, look, because of the batch system, our first batch we have and we've sold, in-art said when they're delivering their next batch for the orders to Lion Rock, that they'd include an extra rooted head sculpt smirking, and then they just ship it to me, no problem.
Yeah.
So that's fair enough. So, when that happens, and I have that in hand, this one here with the little nick in the nose, this will go to a good home for about $300. There's no friends in collectibles. They might make me send it back.
I'll do you 50 in some iron brew.
Listen. DM me, friends, PayPal, friends and family, right?
but in all seriousness, Shane, I'm sure I saw something about someone whose waistcoat was damaged, and they made them do a video of them destroying the waistcoat before they would send a replacement. Yeah. So you might
I would do that because that would get views. It's the type of messed up stuff if you post would get views. Yeah. People, was it LWO Calvin I was watching, and people who just bought PS5s to burn them.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Some men just want to watch the world burn. That's
crazy. Very well played. Very well played.
Yeah, no. Yeah. Marco's on his way to the basketball court. I'm listening. Bro. Well, actually, he said, listening on his way to embarrass myself on the court. He must be going to a food court. He must be
No,
going to food
he's
court.
going to play ball or something, but he already walks on his tippy toes. Like he doesn't walk flat on his heels to the ball of his feet, so he already walks like a damn velociraptor. So just don't hurt yourself. Don't hurt yourself, bro. I don't want to see you out there like that.
I saw you going back and forth on LWO. I think it was
I get
about
shit all
your
the
basketball
time.
teams. Yeah.
Yeah, my Lakers have been
Right.
smacking his team around for years, and so just because they got a little glimpse of some highlights and they finally made it to the playoffs after like almost 2 decades, he thinks he's special. So
Yeah.
I should
You
probably
know
pull
you
my
have a-
championship ring out for him right now, just so he can watch while he's on the way to the court right now.
Ah, yes, brilliant. Look, what we'll do is when we sit down for a few drinks, we'll ring Marco, and
Oh,
we'll
of course.
we'll just give him shit.
Of course,
So,
you gotta give Gigi some more ammo.
yeah. So Iron King, yeah. Basically, I've got 2 copies of the purple coat version. I don't have the smirking version. Like look, the in-art haters will hear this and they'll be like, I told ya, or they'll be saying the magnets. Someone, I don't know, I don't know what, I have no issue with that base, to be honest. I think it's user error. But you do have these little things that I think, because the figure is overwhelmingly good, people who don't like them or want them to fail, they are kind of going to go, oh look, they're going to use that as an excuse to say, I told you so, or whatever. But the thing is, it's beautiful, like it really is, like objectively or subjectively. But what do you think of the situation, Calvin? Do you have this already, or is it on the way?
I have ordered it. It is paid for. Shipping is paid for. It is not on the way yet. Unfortunately, I went through it with the devil I knew at the time. So I'm playing that game right now. So no, it hasn't shipped yet. But just sitting back and waiting. The thing is, I am glad that several people have gotten it before me, and I know all the issues to look for prior to getting it. So when I do get it in hand, I know what pitfalls to look for.
Yeah. The only things that was it rooted you ordered? Did you say? Sorry.
Yes, 2-pack. Same.
Yeah, knowing what I know now, the first thing I'd be looking at is, are they still in the right position in the cylinders, and then are they different? Did you have one smirking, one non-smirking?
Right.
But after that, the wrist pegs are they're a bit like finicky. I think Dan from 6K Reviews summed it up best. You don't rely completely on a magnet. When you push it in, I found them a little awkward to get in the hand, but when they were in, you could kind of feel the magnet clicking in, but you do have to wedge it a bit. So it's a bit of a magnet and friction fit. And I've got to say, it's been holding that heavy machine gun straight down for the last, I don't know, 2 weeks. Thing hasn't budged. So I do think there's a bit of user error going on, I think. And maybe, if you take a figure that everyone wants and you make a stream about it having a major issue, that's going to get you a lot of views.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So if I had a title kind of like In-Art Joker major issue, whether you like the stream or not, you'd probably have a sneaky look of it.
Definitely.
It's just what bad news sells better. It does. So you're waiting for the rooted to turn up then?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just sitting back waiting.
So Winman42, I would file this in the shit happens folder. Regardless of the company, things sometimes happen. The key is going to be how they fix it and how quickly. 100%. I think that is just, that comment is it's just logic, and that's something I can get on board with. Just because there's a few QC issues doesn't mean the entire figure is bad.
Yeah.
I just can't take my eyes off it. I feel that in terms of all the things I've mentioned, the sculpts, the rooted hair, the paint applications, the lightness, the realism, the die-cast accessories, the handcuffs, all of that stuff, I'd be very surprised if I got a better figure in hand this year that outbet it, personally. And I think Winman42 is right. Regardless of the company, there will be QC issues. Some QC issues are okay. Yeah, that's a QC issue. It's to be expected, or not to be expected, but it's things you can kind of almost if as Winman said, if they fix it, you can kind of get over it. But when you look at something like the DeLorean has been riddled with QC issues, and I think that's unforgivable personally. And for people who got it and they've had issues with it, I do empathize with, because that is such a massive, iconic vehicle that everyone wants. Everyone was hyped about that. Back to the Future fans, massively hyped about it. Even non-Back to the Future fans are FOMOing in on that. I resisted it barely, but like, I empathize with anyone who got that figure, or that car, and there was issues with, because I don't think that was good enough. It does.
It worries
It does.
when you see the issues they've had with that, because I've pre-ordered the 89 Batmobile, and you start thinking, if they've got issues with the DeLorean and they've still pushed it out, what am I going to get with the Batmobile? I'm just crossing everything that's going to come when it's ready, and actually work out the issues rather than it come with a whole fleet of problems.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So did you say you've did you say you've ordered it?
Pre-ordered it.
Pre-ordered, right?
Yeah.
And who did you go with? Sorry.
So I went with a guy from Facebook, actually. I've had. I should have listened to you, Shane. I had a very bad experience with an online, well-known retailer. So it kind of pushed us away from ordering through some of the big companies. But there's a guy on Facebook.
So you had a bad experience with Toys Wonderland then?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's like that's like
honestly,
do you know the Captain America memes? So you've had a bad experience. Yeah. I used to buy from the whole time because they were cheap, and I'm a very patient person, but even I run out of patience. But
I'm quite patient, but it's in my personal view, it's the barefaced lying and underhand tactics they used, which just I couldn't get behind anymore. So I've used a Facebook group that I'm called Toys on Fire, which I use a lot. I have a lot of figures from them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Comment here for Iron King. Shane, let's be honest. If they're selling $1,000, the head sculpts should have been checked, and they should have been secured. I agree. I completely agree.
Completely fair.
Completely,
it's a premium
that's
product.
a fair point. Completely. And I guess I agree with that, but then I can also see Winman's point of view, as in right, shit's going to happen, but it's more important what do they do now? Like Lion Rock, straight away they were on it, okay. But you have to kind of wonder, if someone doesn't have a channel and they're a regular collector, will their retailer give them the time of day? Yeah. I've had great experiences with Lion Rock, but at the same time, I'm a YouTuber and then I review from them and they usually give me a better price. Well, they always give me a better price, in fairness. So it's not the same. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not the same.
Yeah.
And so with a company the workshop, I doubt you if you email them and say, right, my inner rooted 2-pack has arrived and the boat head sculpts are the same, you're going to get an email back from Daisy. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's going to be a generic email, and then 2 days later someone's going to get back to you, and I don't know what they're going to do. But sorry, Winman and Iron King I think are going back and forth here. The cost of any item doesn't mean mistakes won't happen. True. If this item was $200 versus $1,500, it doesn't mean a mistake is more likely to happen. No, I disagree with you there. I think if you have a product for $1,500, you do expect better quality. If someone's charging something $1,500, they probably have a better team and are able to pay people more because they're probably making more profit, so they should have better QC. I disagree with that point, Winman, respectfully. So, but I agree with your original points. QC, things are going to happen. Things are going to happen. Right, so we'll move on. And the next thing, I just want to actually just really quickly just take this down and just if you look at the thing here, so that's the yellow line is exactly the same, and I just copy and paste and just put it onto this one. They are the same. There's no smirk going on there at all. Okay, so the Taiwan. We're going to take a look at the Taiwan show, or the Taiwan. It's a pop-up show, I believe. Pop-up shop is. They're doing a Hot Toys. We're doing some sort of a. I don't know what to call it. It's a Taiwan-based pop-up Hot Toys shop, and they had a bunch of stuff set up like a showcase. Mm-hmm. So we're going to take a look at that.
That's good.
Okay. Did anyone get anything in this week?
Yeah.
Go on, Peter. We can stay here for. Do you have an hour?
I Let's see. I got the make yourself comfortable. I got the Mars Joker, obviously, as I've mentioned. I got the In-Art Joker. I got Doctor Strange from Infinity War. What else did I get? I got Kingpin. I got Daredevil. I got Luke, Mando Luke, and I've got Chrome Mando coming tomorrow. So,
Absolute madman.
yeah.
Yeah.
So the drug dealing business is going very well then, yeah?
You say that, but I'm a nurse. So yeah, it is.
You say that, but I owe lots of money to lots of banks. My God, that is I suppose that's as big as haul as you're gonna get, man. That's I'm a bit jealous there of your Mando Luke. That's one see if I survive London. I think myself and Calvin are in the same boat. Because obviously you're over in the UK. You don't have as far to travel, but when we travel over. Like Calvin, you're in for a bigger bill than me because you're coming from so far. But I think we're both, and you're going to Paris as well, aren't you, Calvin?
Yes. Now,
Yeah.
because I have an American account, so between my miles, I got me and my wife over for both London and Paris for $50 each plus my miles.
Oh, wow.
So that was fine. I just had to pay for a flight to get us home, so it wasn't too bad.
Good stuff. Shout out to Ryan, Mr. Mom's Collectibles. Hey, what's going on, everyone? Hope you're having a great Sunday. Absolutely. When you took it out of the jar, there was a death's head moth on the mouth of.
Sounds like alarms, isn't it?
I actually don't know what that is.
I don't know.
Alarms. It's
Right.
It's Silence of the Lambs reference.
Right. Okay. I
Poster.
got you. It's a celebration opening of their new shop in Taiwan, also to celebrate Disney 100. Good stuff. Fantastic pickups from Triple G, yeah. And Connor, I'm mad surprised they are showing figures that are still a year or two out, but no Wanda. Yeah, no Wanda. That's interesting. And Windman coming in with the Silence of the Lambs reference as well. Okay, so we'll take a look at some of these. I'm just going to flick through, guys, and I want you to talk a bit. Like, if you see on something that you're going to get, or something you're interested in, or something that looks better or worse than what you thought it would look like. We're going to talk about that later, but we really should open some of these stores up in elsewhere. There's no official Hot Toys store in Europe or America, isn't that correct?
No, not that I know of.
Yeah.
I love that. If I hadn't recently picked up the Empire Vader, I would have gone for that one.
This is one I might pick up if I'm gonna get Vader. I want the cracked helmet
This
style
is
one.
ordered. This is definitely ordered.
I've got this on order. I don't have a Vader in my collection. And I think my logic is that, number one, this looks awesome. And number two, I'm a bit Vader blind. So I could swap out the battle damage parts for the clean parts. And I'll just see original trilogy Vader. I know people are going, yeah, but the helmet is not the right shade of black.
That's Mario. Mario's rolling over right now.
Yeah.
The light is green instead of blue. You know, like
Yeah.
Well.
But
It's got the USB lightsaber as well, but hasn't it? I mean, I got the I've got the Empire Vader and the lightsaber's shotgun on it. So I picked up the Luke, like I said recently, and I've had to buy a third-party USB lightsaber to go with it because I just kind of bear it. I can't believe Hot Toys have made so many Star Wars figures, and we've still got rubbish lightsabers. That even if you didn't want to plug it in, light it up, we should have a better quality plastic, so you haven't got to have it lit up. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, like as if the plastic was painted with a really bright screen accurate color lightsaber. Yeah. Calvin actually was giving me advice on CCFLs and showed like loads of pictures. He's got like loads of different CCFLs. So I've actually gone with Art 15 Custom. So it's the CCFL I've gone with. I haven't got the Mando Luke, but it's inevitable. I'm just waiting until I come back from London before I pull the trigger on that. But I do want it because it doesn't have a USB saber. I do want the light up blades, and I want it like wired. So Calvin gave me a lot of advice about them, and they kind of get quite hot and stuff like that.
They definitely added presence to the collection.
Yeah,
no doubt. I think Easy Company Collectibles had
That's
a few of them,
where I
and
originally
oh
learned
my
it
god,
from.
his setup looked amazing there.
I picked one up. I can't remember if it was you that recommended them, Calvin, in a little group chat. I can't remember who I picked it up from.
Yeah, that was
But
me.
I've,
I think Pete was asking about them.
Yeah. So I've ordered a one. Yeah, it'll take about 5 weeks to come, I think. So
Was that
looking
Pete
forward to
Cass?
getting that. I can't remember. I can't
Because
remember.
I
who.
know Pete Cass from OFAC actually makes them.
Can't remember.
Julie from Texas saying hit the like button. Shiny. Hot Toys have a contract with the rubbish lightsaber mafia and pleather conglomerate. This dude is quick off the mark, like it's. Shiny, I know I've asked this before, but where are you based and are you going to Celebration, please? Because I would very much like to have a pint with you.
I believe he said I don't think he's going, but he said he'd be in the area. So I was like, I would love to meet up with you if you're in the area. So I think he said he'd be out there.
So he's the guy who works the corner for Triple G's Empire, by the sounds of things. Hope you're paying him well. Yeah. So out of the four of us on the panel, is that 4 out of 4? Is that a clean sweep?
Well, I've got the Empire one, so I don't know. I don't know whether I'd be tempted to sell the Empire one and get this.
Yeah, we have one Empire Vader for sale, folks. Friends and family PayPal. So I'd say that I'm going to put it out, going out on a limb that you will not be able to resist this.
Yeah. Oh,
What
this
about
one
the
as well.
89? I believe you already have the DX08, Peter. Do you?
Yeah. But this is sexy. I mean, I've got the original. I like this. I like the stand on this. I like the gargoyle.
Yeah, the base is amazing. Yeah, makes it for me.
I've just bought a custom cape for me, the 89 Batman as well. I don't know. I'll have to see the reviews at the time and see if it is significantly improved. Because let's face it. I mean, I don't know what you guys like, but this particular figure, I'm never posing this. This, it doesn't suit the character. It literally stands like it stands like that. So unless there's a massive difference in the face sculpt, I'll probably keep my.
That's
original.
all you need to do. You need to stand it like that. Done. Yeah. Even the pose where he was kind of behind the pillar with the grapnel gun. A lot of people were like, they were saying, "Oh, we're not getting the deluxe. We're going to get the the regular and save a few quid." And they won't actually use the base, which fair enough. But I actually really like the base, and a lot of people were making fun of the pose. It's like, look, he's posed, he's behind it. I actually thought that was really cool. The way he was just peeking out from a kind of But look, to be honest, Peter, you're getting this for Vicky Vale's shoot. You can just, you can just say it. Just
I mean, I have
knows.
a thing. I have a thing for shoes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
not for Kim Basinger, no. Calvin, sorry, go on, Peter.
The truth is, I would be buying this because I love the way that looks. But if I'm getting the 89 Batmobile, I'm never going to be using that statue, am I?
That's a fact.
Because I'm going to pose in front of the.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, the 89 Batmobile. I have the Batpod, but I literally I can't do vehicles. But I have ordered the 89 Batmobile. That is going to be, if it was one vehicle, and I like a lot of them. I like the 22. I love the Tumbler and the DeLorean. I'm not the biggest Back to the Future fan, so I was never going to get that, but it looks amazing. But the 89, I think the Batmobile, and that's the one I think of. So, but yeah, you're right. That's a solid point. Yeah, Calvin, are you like? Did you pick up do you have the original DX08, or do you have any interest in this? Or
I didn't get the original, but I'm all over this. The only representation I have for this right now is the Lego 89 setup. So I've got that right here. That's coming out. I'll put it in the closet somewhere. But Jazz Inks is already ordered. I'm getting this. You
got two ballers here.
I bet don't get me going down the aisle of my vehicles, because 95, 89 Tumblers coming, and then you see I already have two Jazz Inc. What is that? The Justice Mobile. So.
All right. Yeah.
But this is definitely coming home. I can't wait. Once I saw this at SDCC, I was like, I can't wait for them to drop that as soon as it hit. And I think I got it dumb cheap too. I think I had points with Marcos at Collector's Zone, so I think I got this deluxe for like $50. So killed it.
So you got this for $50. You cashed in your points in $50. Oh, that's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
That's a no-brainer.
I've been cashing in points a lot lately because I'm not trying to spend anything right now. So
yeah, you're right.
I've been
Like
going through all
I
my
ordered
points lately.
the lightsaber for the Luke that I don't have.
It's okay.
Yeah, I was like, I know it's coming. Like I'm not worried about this. I don't really buy into the waitlist war or anything like that, because Sideshow aren't my retailer. Like, but I'm waiting until after London to see if I survive that, and then the Luke would be the first thing I'll order after that. Like, but Yeah. So right, I'll just flick through another few of these.
Sorry,
sorry,
James.
James.
Think we're going to get a Joker with this? Think we'll get a Jack Nicholson? I mean, I've got the original, but again, if they're doing Batman, they've got to do Jack Nicholson Joker.
I would hope so. But
Peter, you have the
I ordered
original.
the
You shouldn't
Mars.
even be talking now. Like just rubbing that shit in.
That hurts, Peter. Come on. That sucks.
God, I'm not
yeah.
sure if I want to have like a pineapple cider with you now. Like,
I had to rely on the Mars toys, so I'm fine with that. I've got the Jack Nicholson already, and then I've got the what was that? The melting face one.
Oh yeah.
And I think I got the forehead one as well. So whichever, but yeah, I definitely got that representation coming.
all signs point to Mars Toys doing a Bob. Like I think that's what
Come on, bring a Bob.
I think that's where we're going. Do you know he wasn't an actor. He was Jack Nicholson's drinking buddy. And Jack said Jack was like, no, he's in the movie. So they made a part for him or gave him a part.
Wow.
I can imagine the two of them on the beer, like, you know. Bob more so than Jack, but yeah, like it's yeah.
I mean, his name was already first on the bill, so you know he had pull.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's actually another time that happened was with Batman and Robin. Arnold Schwarzenegger's name was first in the bill because he commanded more of a fee at the time. Do you know? Because he was significantly bigger actor, bigger name.
97, yeah, I'd imagine.
Yeah, he was riding that T2 hype train.
Unfortunately, we don't count that movie. So sorry, Arnold.
No.
Yeah, try to forget that one.
Yeah.
The cooler. No, just not. No, definitely not. No. Sorry, James.
I am in the market for a Batman actually, but I have decided what version. Yeah, I have been looking at the Arkham City one from a few years ago, but it's like nearly 10 years old at this point. I don't know if it's better to get a more modern one. But
is it just any Batman or a particular one?
Just a bit of Batman representation, I think. So, like, I could go Keaton, Ben Affleck I'm a big fan of that interpretation. Pattinson as well, maybe. So I'll see. I'll keep an eye on this one. Anyway.
Sounds like you've made up your mind. Yep. It's like you've named them all. Like
I'm very indecisive.
Yeah. You can't go wrong though. Like you didn't mention Bale, so I'm gonna have to boot you for the stream. So what's going on your channel?
Just not a fan of the Batsuit design, to be honest. Like, if I was going to Bale, I'd go Batman Begins. But then, I'd love a Heath Ledger Joker. So
yeah,
maybe them paired.
No, I get that. There's a lot to choose from. It's just they are very different styles. Like Keaton's different to Bale, Bale's different to Batfleck, Batfleck is different to Pattinson, and they just and then obviously West is completely different. Yeah. But there's it's hard. All these figures, they all look great. Like. But there's one on adverts, James. I think we're the only people right now. Like I talk about adverts. I use adverts the whole time. I sell things from time to time, not that often, but I definitely do. Like, but adverts. Like there's a good few Hot Toys on. It's worth keeping an eye on. Yeah, because there is the DX08 is up there now. This one here, but I think there's a few issues with it. Like, but. You're going to see more of them appear and more of them drop down because people realize, they can't. The new one, they're not going to get those prices that they once could for this because the new one's on the way. Yeah. I sold my 2 third parties. I sold one of them was a Bane. It was great. I do think it's better than the Hot Toys one, the original Hot Toys, but the new one blows it out of the water if it turns out as good as a prototype. So. I went on to adverts. I put up they had a Fison body in the Daft Toys kit, and this guy made an offer, and it was like it was a low ball offer. It wasn't like insulting. It was maybe like 75% of what I asked. Like, but I knew I wasn't going to get what I asked because just logic. You don't put it in for what you want to sell it for because everyone's going to undercut you anyway. You put it, But I kind of came back. Do you want to meet me halfway? Blah blah. And he went. Well, no, because I can just wait and get the Hot Toys version, and I just kind of messaged back, well played, I accept your offer. Because it's like he'd done his research, and he was right, like, and it was like, so, and the fella paid up straight away, so happy days.
I guess that's kind of my frustration about coming into the whole Hot Toy thing later in life, I guess, because I know you say, Shane, that you don't collect backwards. Well, I very much do, because of nostalgia.
I don't... That's not my primary way. That's not my modus operandi.
Yeah.
But I have worked backwards.
Yeah.
But like
Because
I'm
you've got
patient.
Robocop, haven't you?
Yeah, like as in that was brand new inbox for €500, and then it paid about maybe like €100 to ship, whatever. So I didn't lose any sleep over that.
So I mean, you'll be in the same
yeah.
boat as me. I've picked up a few of the older figures that people consider, some of the harder to get ones. So I was slightly upset when this came out because I'm thinking I've just shelled out quite a bit of money for a version.
That was like the first one you got, though, Peter, wasn't it? I remember you telling us you ordered it.
Yeah, first one I got was Endgame Cap, and I got Optimus Prime, then I went Batman and Joker.
Right.
Yeah, so I've had them a year or two.
Yeah, that's I don't mean to sound sarcastic, but I don't know if you realize what the definition of few is. Spill, which ones have you worked backwards on? Be honest, Peter. And I bet you James, you keep them honest, yeah?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Off the top of your head, which ones have you worked backwards on?
Nearly, to be honest, I would say 80% of my collection. So I've got, Terminator, Predator, Aliens, Mars Attacks. I've got a load of the Endgame figures.
Do you have the DX13 Terminator?
Which one's that again? I don't. So Shane, I do collect them, but I don't do the DX numbers. I don't know what they are.
Oh right. Fake
Battle
fan.
Damaged.
Fake fan. Yeah. Battle Damaged Terminator 2. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I've got.
Yeah.
Battle Damaged Terminator 2.
Yeah. I have the T800
this thing behind
from
us
the
was-
first movie.
This
Is that the Hulkbuster? Is it?
Yeah, that was a silly
Gotcha.
purchase.
I am. Yeah, the DX13 is one I'm always tempted on working backwards, and like I know like there's like rumors of InArt doing one, but like when it's I kind of resign myself that even if they announced it today, you mightn't see it for 2 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And Hot Toys, man, are they? Will they go back? They might never go back to that. Like so. That DX13, there is one on adverts actually, James, for 400, but it has a broken elbow piece. Apparently, it's a common issue. One of the arms, I think it's the left arm, you can take off. Yeah, it's the left arm. You can take off the regular arm and put in the arm he has at the end that's ripped apart.
Yeah.
But the peg there's a peg on the elbow which belongs to the upper arm breaks, and that one it is broken, and the pleather is starting to peel as well. So if it was new in box or even like used but no issues, like that would have been a done deal for €400. That would have been a done deal.
The one
And
I
not
picked
for
up, I got for
Pardon?
£320.
Is that pounds?
Yeah, £320. From
That's
a guy
about
who,
€50.
who lives about 10 minutes down the road from us. So I went and picked up. The only issue with it is the pleather on the belt had flaked. So he'd taken all of the pleather off the belt, and it actually looks great. It just looks like a great belt. So you could pick up another belt if you wanted, but actually it looks good as it is.
There's customs. There's people who do customs just for that. Like, yeah.
I can't be dealing with pleather though. I don't want a figure that's going to degrade that badly over time.
With battle damage though, it's not as big a deal. I don't think. Like I got that T800 up there, and I just it's one of those figures. Every time I look at it, I just zone out, and then you've been on a stream for half an hour doing nothing. But it's just the head sculpt, the battle damage head sculpt's amazing, and the leather jacket's amazing, but it hasn't peeled or anything. And if it does a little bit, it's like it's battle damage, so you probably won't notice too much.
Yeah.
But that point you said about your guy took the pleather off, I've heard people do similar with the Dark Knight Rises Selena Kyle, the original version.
Right, yeah.
They've actually peeled the whole thing off, like because it started to flake, and they just that must have been serious patience involved. But like, hopefully the new one is better. But so I just to liven things up, completely random, lads, completely random. So, what's your drink of choice, Calvin?
My go-to is Malibu rum and pineapple. They don't make Bacardi 151 anymore, which was basically gasoline. So I would like throw a shot of that inside. So it was sweet but still kick you in the throat. So that was my mix, but I can't really find 151 anymore. Sorry, 5151 anymore. So Malibu pineapple is my go-to, but cocktails for the most part across the board.
So was 151 like an octane number or something? It does sound like a few like.
It was like, I don't know what we were doing in our early 20s, because I used to just take it straight and you just feel your whole esophagus on fire as it went down, but it definitely did the job.
There's if I met 20-year-old me, I'd slap him. Peter, what about yourself?
Well, I like a variety. I like to end the evening with a nice port. I'm a
You're the
cocktail
cultured
drinker
one,
as well.
so
Cultured, yeah. I like a Long Island iced tea, or I like a
That's a good one.
mojito. Love a mojito. This is nice. What I'm drinking at the
That's another
moment. This
good
is
one.
the strawberry and lime cider.
Oh yeah, very good.
But
That's
I have
good, yeah.
to say, I went
Yeah.
drinking with James a little while ago, and he took us to an Irish bar, and I'm now obsessed with baby Guinness.
I told you you'd love it. I knew you'd love it.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's good stuff.
that's such a like it's just one of those when you've been on the beer for a while. It's such a harmless shot. Like it
Yeah,
tastes
yeah.
really nice. It's
kiddie
such
shot.
an unoffensive shot. Like yeah. And yourself, James?
Joe, Malibu and pineapple is one of my favorite drinks. Like I'd get that for a house party or something. But I'm a Heineken guy usually in the bar. I'll have a Guinness if someone else is having a Guinness, but I won't
Yeah.
be the only person having a Guinness. You know.
Yeah.
So
Gotcha.
Heineken mostly.
Yeah, I'd say
I was scarred at a young age for beer, so just the foam in my mouth, I just automatically want to spit it out. So
Yeah, that's fair.
I was
It's
scar-
funny
I was scarred
how
at a young
smells
age.
or tastes can trigger.
But I did it to myself.
memories.
That's the sad part. I did it to myself. My 18th birthday. I'm the oldest in high school. Let's get some beers. Had a guy get us some. He got us 40-ounce Old English beers. I drank all of mine. One of my other guys was acting like a punk. I drank half of his. Fell asleep. Woke up throwing up. Had a track meet the next day. Was dead all day long. I still came in first place for my race though. I don't lose, but
Good stuff. Good
I
stuff.
was in bad shape all day.
Yeah. Describing that hangover you just described, I wouldn't have left the couch and I'd be looking for chicken fillet roll. Like,
All
you know,
day.
it's like,
I
you know, it's like,
I just had flashbacks of waking up and just feeling like, yeah, it was all
Yeah,
bad.
no,
So
not
beer
good.
now, just like I've turned down free beer to go pay for a cocktail. That's where I've had it. So I'm like, yeah.
well, no.
it's not
If
for
that
me.
happens on Friday or Saturday night, now someone offers you a beer, you don't
I'll
want
hand it over. I'll hand it over.
You and me,
that's,
Calvin, will be doing cocktail pitches, right? We'll do
Sounds
some
good to
pitches
me.
because we're bound to get some in there.
I'd usually drink a Guinness if I'm out, but I won't be drinking Guinness
Out of
over
the can, yeah.
anywhere else but Ireland that doesn't travel. But
Oh,
I
yeah.
like an IPA.
I was in
a
Vegas in September and I got Guinness in a bar, and it was like $15-16, which was shocking, and it was like it looked like it had been sitting there an hour, like straight out of the tap. It was
Oh,
disgusting. Like yeah, ugh.
that reminds me of
Partial
One.
to a cherry Bakewell drink as well. You had that? That's a good
a
cocktail.
what?
Cherry Bakewell. I haven't got a clue what's
No.
in it, but it gets you drunk, and it's tastes of cherries and almonds and things. It's very nice.
No,
to
I've
try that.
never had a cocktail
Yeah,
like that.
no
Now, to be
way.
In
honest.
Sambuca.
Yeah. Just when you're describing there about paying €15 for a beer, that reminds me of an episode of The Simpsons when prohibition kicks in. They're not
yeah.
allowed to sell alcohol, so the Homer turned into the beer barn, and what he was doing was he was filling he was brewing the beer and then filling it full of bowling balls and stuff like that, and he was getting it into Moe's pub or something. No, do you know what it was? He went for a beer before he became the beer baron, and Moe was smuggling beer in, and because there was supply and demand issues, he was like, how much? That'll be like $20. He's like, this better be the best goddamn beer of my life. He takes one swig. You got lucky. So good. Yeah. But all right, so we're going to flick through some more of these images. I think, Calvin, you've got the Jazz Inc. on the way. I've got the Hot Toys on the way. Anyone else here pulling the trigger on this?
At the 89 Batmobile, yeah?
Yep.
Yeah, I've got that. I'm ordered.
Nice.
I will never be able to buy a thing. It's just I don't have the space really, and I don't think I ever will to display it properly.
Yeah.
Don't know where
And there's
it's
none
going.
that I care about that much to get. Like I've never been attached to like Ghostbusters or any of them.
But
you know?
you're probably in your 20s, are you?
yeah.
Yeah, that's completely understandable because you're like, yeah, you're younger, like, so it wouldn't be, that's completely understandable. Would like, and it's funny the way Bale isn't your Batman. My God, I don't have.
No, The Dark Knight's one of my favorite movies. I've never been a fan of that costume. Really.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you know.
We're on the polar opposites here. This display is pretty cool.
Yeah.
like in fairness with like this Tom Holland here, this looks very well. This
I like that.
traditional, I suppose it is close enough to the comic representation of the final No Way Home suit. Looks pretty cool.
I've got the classic costume from the computer game version, but I'm tempted to get rid of that and get him when he comes, I have to say.
So here we have Shuri Black Panther. Spoiler alert. And then this is the T'Challa.
Yeah.
Anyone getting these?
Definitely.
No, I've just picked up the last Black Panther figure because I liked that costume, the one that glows when you put the UV lights on it.
Oh yeah.
Because I prefer that version. And the head sculpt's good. I wouldn't say it's amazing, but I didn't have T'Challa in my collection, and I felt I don't know, an emotional attachment. I needed to have him displayed holding the helmet with Chadwick kind of on display, you know. So I picked that one up.
I hope they improve the head sculpt on this.
Yeah.
I think it's one of those ones they can't afford to not nail, you know. But again, it's wishful thinking that they'll actually improve it. But so, Calvin, you said you're picking this up, yeah?
I have. I already have the original for Civil War because I have a whole Civil War section. But I think I ordered 2 of these because I was gonna put in with the other ancestral ceremonial mask. So I was gonna have that because I've got the whole Black Panther. I've got all of them. So I'm definitely gonna have a Shuri in him, and then he also comes with the tribal shield and spear here as well.
I'll not be picking up She-Hulk purely because even though I think the figure's nice, I kind of bear the show. So
I'm cool.
Yeah, same man, same. The figure turned out. It was so surprising how well it turned out. Well, I know it's a prototype, right? But in fairness, like if they're not nailing the prototype, they're probably not going to nail the figure. But yeah, the show I just had no interest in, so it wouldn't matter how good it is. These look all great together. I gotta say, my eye actually, strangely enough, goes straight to R2. I really want an R2, but I don't collect prequels, and I still think Return of the Jedi 40th, they might just do the most obvious 2-pack ever and give us a shiny C-3PO and R2-D2. Come on, it's so obvious. Like, just do it, because then you've a lot of people who have pre-ordered the Attack of the Clones R2-D2 with the rockets and the C-3PO, which is for some reason not here, the kind of weathered incomplete version or whatever. Like, they might still, enough time has passed that they might still go, okay, we'll get the original looking version as well. This clone trooper, the pilot, now that's something I could get on board with from a collecting troopers point of view. I'll just go through the panel here. Like, James, anything here on this that you've pre-ordered or have any interest in?
No, like Star Wars wise, Vader and Mando. Maybe Clone Wars, Obi-Wan and Anakin will be the only ones I'd really be going for. Like I like you know, more than most people, I have nostalgia for Attack of the Clones, but I wouldn't be picking up any for my collection, you know.
Yeah, gotcha. And so it'd be Anakin and Padme, or just Anakin?
Oh, well, like, you know, the Clone Wars version, like the realistic one.
Sorry,
one.
Yeah.
That's one on my list anyway. So
because you're a big Clone Wars fan, aren't you?
Well, I just love that design, like,
Yeah.
and the way that it's like a realistic head sculpt for him. Like, I love when they translate the cartoon stuff into live action for figures.
Yeah, you did a great job.
Yeah, definitely. So.
And Peter, ending on the screen there that you've an interest in, or have you pre-ordered all of them and doubles, one to stock and one to stock?
So, when I first started collecting, I promised I wouldn't collect Star Wars figures because I thought there was enough back catalogue of Marvel and all the rest of it to keep us interested. And then I decided I wanted movies that meant something to his collection. So I picked up a Vader to represent Star Wars. Then that Luke came out and I thought, well, you got to have a Luke to stand next to Vader. So I got that. And then my shelf looked stupid with just the 2 of them. So I've ordered Mando. So I am starting to collect Star Wars, even though I said I wouldn't.
It's a slippery slope.
I know. If I did, it's probably the original trilogy that I'll go for. So it might be an R2-D2, it might be a trooper, you know, that kind of thing. Although I have to say, the Mace Windu figure jumps out at us. I do like that one. I know there was issues with the head sculpt, but I think he's a very cool character, so he might go in the collection.
Mm-hmm. And Calvin, I'm guessing that you have ordered Anakin and Padme. Am I right?
Anakin and Mace, and
All right, okay.
I'm strongly considering Padme.
Can you really have Anakin?
That's what I'm saying. That's the problem. Like,
Yeah, I get you.
but so far I haven't ordered her yet.
Yeah. I think this is one of those ones, like, this was obviously the title of the stream is Cheap Week because there's nothing that was announced or released that I'm interested in, so while it's safe. I feel like that with every time Clone Wars is released, I go, thank God I don't collect Clone Wars because they're going deep in the Clone Wars. With the Attack of the Clones as well, I don't collect prequels. The only prequels figure I have is Cody because I'm a trooper collector and I got it as a gift and I would have bought it anyway because it's such an amazing looking trooper. But that clone pilot, there's something about having the two helmets and the splashy yellow on it. Put him next to Cody, I think they'd look really well together.
Yeah, I think so.
And the R2 was tempting as well because it's R2, but I still think they're gonna eventually, maybe not for the Return of the Jedi 40th, but they will do a shiny C-3PO. They have the mold. It's just a case of a bit of a rework. Get that shiny C-3PO in and the R2D2, which but yeah, R2 is, do you know what it is? With that Luke from Mando coming out and having the CCFL lightsaber in the way, an R2 next to it would be absolutely beautiful, you know. And again, there's one on adverts, James, for 230, but it's sequels, and no, that's it. No way, not getting in here. But they did have an R2 branded, just I think it was Star Wars original trilogy R2, and it comes with like everything. There's like all the gadgets you could want, and it's like has a remote and there's sound effects and all that. Very, very cool. But it's just crawling up there on the aftermarket. Right. So anyone else have anything more to say about this before we move on?
No.
We good?
Yeah.
It looks great though together. I like the way they have them set up. Why isn't there a C-3PO? Very weird. Like maybe he's just not ready yet, but surely they have a prototype. Like,
I think.
I got this photo earlier on, and someone said it looks like they fixed the Kenobi sculpt. I can't tell, but is this just the power of suggestion now? Someone saying they fixed this and it looks slightly better than the prototypes, or is that like no? It's the very same. What do you think?
It might just be the angle, like, you know, I don't know if they have tweaked it or not, but this is a very far away shot as well, you know, you can't really tell until you get up close or recreate any of those shots.
Yeah, I went to college with some people who looked great from afar. Had to. You set me up for it. I love the way this guy's holding his lightsaber.
Yeah.
He's just like, he has it in his left hand for starters. Ewan McGregor isn't left-handed, is he?
Don't think so.
I couldn't tell you. Yeah.
Fake fan, but I'm guessing he's right-handed. I'm guessing, but see the way he's holding just the end of it. I think that's really funny. But yeah. So I don't know what like. Is there anything here? Anyone, just someone jump in. Like, what do you think? Is there anything here that you're like you have to have besides the Vader? Because we know.
I love Inquisitors. So like a Vader with the Inquisitors like set would be incredible, you know, like, and especially if they went back and did like Jedi Fallen Order, you know, the second sister from that one. But I'm skeptical that some of these are going to actually come out. Like, you know, I think Grand Inquisitor probably, but the other two, you know.
Where is like Reva? Like the whole show pretty much revolves around her, and she's not here.
That was preview though. There was a Reva one announced back then, but that's weird. That's not in this.
Yeah, it is. As in, I find it weird that there's no C-3PO next to the R2 in the previous photo. Yeah. But it is weird the way there's no Reva here, considering out of all the Inquisitors, she got the most screen time.
Yeah.
I mean, she was there in every episode. The Grand Inquisitor, he was sassy and died twice, or he got stabbed or something like that. And then the other two just argued like squabbling siblings. Like it just, it is strange. But it'll only be the Vader here for me personally. I doubt.
Purge Trooper looks great though as well. I think.
The who?
The Purge Trooper.
Yeah, it's mad. I'm a Trooper collector, but it's not floating my boat. And I know a lot of people are really psyched about it, but it's it's not floating my boat, and maybe it's because the Purge Troopers, did they not come from a game?
Yeah, Jedi Fallen Order.
Yeah. See, this is it. I'm not a gamer, so it's like.
But I think this is an
probably
evolved
explains it.
design from Fallen Order. I think like this
Yeah.
is from Obi-Wan when they appear in there. You know?
But again, I can't even look at that. But again, I
That's
don't
the
have
reaction
the,
I was looking for, Peter. And you delivered. You delivered.
I don't. The show Obi-Wan had some good moments, but it doesn't hold a place in my heart, which means that I don't think I was particularly worried about having these in my collection. It fell flat for me, unfortunately, a bit.
Just want to say hello to William Owens here. He's a staple in the community here. Thanks for being here. Shiny. The new Luke is amazing, though. Lol, if that was the only figure you had to represent Star Wars, you could do way worse.
Mhm.
This might be the only comment that I've ever read from Shiny when he's not making a joke. Look at you, you're growing. No, he's not wrong though. I actually, you're not wrong. He's definitely. Passed on the clone pilot. Reva is missing. It's very strange the way she's missing. Most bad figures look better in lower resolution. Yeah, exactly. Vader and Obi are coming home. OG says the portrayal of these characters was not great, but these action figures, yeah, that's true. As a group, they do look great. Yeah, I'm very proud of Shiny. I am in for it for the remainder of this stream. I think he's just going to be like, right, okay. No, no one's getting this. I'm guessing.
Yeah, no, it's just a bad design, really bad. Yeah.
Again, it's that link to the movie. So Thor is my favorite character, Marvel character from the comics, and his portrayal in this movie just makes us physically sick. And I'm also not a fan of clip-on kind of effects. So I just think that looks just atrocious. Not for me.
I completely agree with you. The only effects I've ever used are the flamethrowers for Mando or Incinerator Trooper, because they actually look good. They look like flames, but they photograph quite well as well. But I just find electricity effects and stuff like that takes something which is high price, high end, high quality, and just cheapens it.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's just my own take on it. It takes me out of a bit, the realism.
I think you're right, Shane. I like I said, I've picked up Infinity War Doctor Strange, and he comes with a whole host of clip-on effects, different vibrant colours and stuff like that. And at first I thought, oh, these look okay. And then the more you play with it and look at them, it makes it look like a cheap Marvel Legend figure. So I've taken them all off and I've just stuck with kind of the dynamic pose of his hands rather than having the effect pieces.
Yeah, no, you're right. Massive shout out to the 50 people who have joined us today. They obviously were at a loose end because there was no collector's lounge, but thank you very much for coming in here for your 1/6 fix. Speaking of 1/6 fix, if you haven't subscribed to 1/6 fix, that's 1/6 and then fix, maybe go on over there to 1/6 fix and do the right thing. He hit 1,000 subs to Marco and Gigi. We know Gigi is the brains behind the operation. Definitely the beauty behind the operation as well. And she's basically started a show, but Marco turns up and calls himself the 6-scale scoundrel and talks about basketball from time to time. Is that pretty much summarizes him, Calvin? Oh, yeah.
Sounds about right to me.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, good.
I don't know why he's talking basketball though. His team is terrible, so I don't know why he tries it.
This guy. Do you have anything to say about this, or will I move on? Anyone want to jump in on this, Thor? Nothing but abuse. So okay. Anyone? Finally, they've actually given us a Valkyrie. Again, I didn't like the movie, so I'm not going to get anything from the movie. But anyone interested in this?
No.
Half and half.
You're on the fence.
Half and half. Just like I try and get as much representation for African American characters as I can in the collection, but I already have a third party for her coming for the in-game collection, so
gotcha.
That's why I'm on the fence for her on this one. Like, where would I put her?
Yeah, because if this is the only figure you got from Love and Thunder, it's like, you're right. Where'd you put her? Whereas if you had like the Endgame costume, You probably have Endgame figures, I'm guessing. So
Yeah, I've got pretty much the whole Infinity War and Endgame all together, all lined up again with each other. So
this individual, I actually think they've done a great job with this. I thought the movie was mock. I just couldn't. I thought the movie was awful. I just could not deal with it. But this, I think the head sculpt looks fantastic. I love how jacked he is. It comes with that base as well. I don't know. Sorry, James, you're about to say something. Sorry.
I love the look with the cape. Like, it's a shame that only really popped up at the very end of the movie, even though the rest of the movie was awful, I thought. But you're bang on. I think the head sculpt looks fantastic. The sculpt, the outfit as well. So yeah, it's a good figure. Shame it's from a shit movie though.
Like, I'm looking at that now and I'm thinking, like, if you want to ask anyone what's happening next in terms of Hot Toys, this guy can smell what Howard Chan is cooking. I couldn't know. Look, we're down to 2 viewers. That's just me and you. Like, in fairness, like, I think this looks great. Like, I just won't be getting it. What about Calvin?
Again, on the fence. The movie was terrible. I think the figure itself looks great. I'd actually, because you guys know I'm 1/3 scale statue collector as well. I was thinking about getting the Prime 1 until the movie came out. I was like, I'm not spending that, especially in the price. The price was like $17 for it too. I was like, I'm not spending that for this. So I was like, so this is one that if I do get it, it'll be well in the bargain bin when it's on heavily discounted somewhere. And if I got that itch to just buy something, I might pick them up.
The only thing about this, like, it's a pity Rock didn't put some sort of effort into his physique for the film. You know, I mean, like, sorry, he's an absolute tank for that. Do you follow him on Instagram?
Yeah.
Do you ever see him do what's the exercise called? Leg extensions.
No, I don't think so.
His quads are probably bigger than most people's waists. The guy is just like, I know this is not like news. This is like, okay, The Rock's jacked. You know, this just in, water is wet. But if you follow his Instagram, it's actually really entertaining. Like, he puts up his cheat meals as well. He loves sushi, right? But like, he eats what looks like a sushi platter designed for like 10 people, like, and then he loves cookies, like chocolate chip cookies, so he'd have literally a plate of cookies. So like every
pancakes. Do you ever see
like
pancakes?
Literally stacks. Like, but I actually really like The Rock. I'm not a wrestling fan.
I love him as an individual, but this was just, come on, this was one, and I really had high hopes. All the buzz and everything that he was building for this, and I'm like, that's what we got.
Yeah. It's a bit of a shame, but I think the figure looks great. I think the head sculpt's very good. Oh, now we're talking. This was as close as it gets to a dopo for me. I had a stream dedicated to it. I sold a third-party version, which was, I do maintain, in my opinion, was better than the Hot Toys one. But this one here, what can I say? Like, improved body proportions, seamless arms, more movie accurate arms, definitely more so than the previous version. A proper coat which is not pleather, which shouldn't peel, an extra French Fashion Week coat, rolling eyeballs function, improved paint apps and lightness on the sculpt and the mask. This thing, the base, this was always coming home. Always. This was close as it comes to a dopo for me from like my favorite trilogy. So yeah, no brainer. I'm out. Drop mic. Anyone else getting this? Or anyway interested?
No. I love it. I think it's an amazing figure. But I am starting to get to the point now where I'm going to have to be really careful with what I buy purely for a space point of view. And I've got Dark Knight in the Nolan trilogy represented by the DX19 and also the in-art Joker. So
this would look great with them though, Peter. You know?
Oh, you're right. I'll buy it.
Do you know, Peter, like, I think we could help each other out, right? So you need to make space and I need a DX13 for £100 PayPal friends and family. I will help you out with that. That's
You're
all
a
I'm
kind
asking.
man, Gene. You're a kind man. That's
You know,
generous.
do you know what? I'll swap you the in-art Joker head sculpt for that. You know, so
That's an alright deal,
Yeah.
Peter. I think that.
yeah.
You watch your with hair.
Yeah. So Calvin, who's your Batman actually?
Keaton,
Oh,
definitively
that's the right answer.
Keaton and then Bell.
Yeah, we're a
And-
similar vintage, I'd say. Like, you know, I'd say we're.
Yeah.
I'll be 40 later on this year. Are you
Okay.
younger?
Just
if you're-
turned 40 2 months ago in January.
Ah, yeah. I thought we were. Yeah, and that you can date people by what kind of movies they are nostalgic
Right.
to them. Like you know, if someone doesn't like Keaton, they're probably less, maybe
Right.
35 or down, maybe even 30 or down. Like, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
But yeah, and yes. So this is not coming home for you either, Peter.
I don't.
That sounds like a yes.
You will. We will. Peter, we know how this goes. You say, "Oh no, don't think I'm going to get that," and then, "Oh, I've ordered it," and then the unboxing comes out 6 months later. You know, like so. Yeah, this is. You're getting.
I
this.
mean, yeah.
Okay.
You know, I probably get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And this, you're Batfleck anyway, are you? Or
No,
Is
I'm
that
Keaton. No, Keaton.
no,
all
sorry,
day.
I'm James. Sorry.
I'm undecided. I think Batman. Well, Kevin Conroy for me is the goat.
All right,
Yeah.
you're a
Yeah,
hipster.
across the board.
Yeah.
Kevin Conroy across the board, definitely.
Yeah.
The Arkham version is the one I.
Just his voice alone, he just does it.
Yeah.
In fairness, the animated Batmobile, I think, gives the '89 a run for its money.
Yeah.
I've got that in here too. I've got that down here as well.
This
I
guy,
love it.
this guy.
Yeah, this whole back wall is all. This is all my DC stuff back here. So, yeah.
If I was to get because I am tempted to get a Ledger Joker from someone, and I don't know if the in-art one, but like this would look so good with that, and then maybe get a Two-Face as well, just have like a villain section. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Just a quick
I
shout
realized
out there.
Go ahead.
Sorry, go on.
I was just gonna say, the older I get, the more villains I'm trying to get in here. I scaled back from heroes and do more villains.
That makes sense. The older I get, the looser my morals get too. I feel like I'm a bit of a villain myself. Like so, it's the shout out to Alan from the Six Scale Gallery. If you haven't done so already, like Alan is not just a photographer. He's a pro photographer. I don't mean pro in the sense of he's very good. I mean he's actually a pro photographer. Does some fantastic six scale photography. Stands out among six scale photographers. He specializes a lot of time in head sculpts. But we know that Hot Toys, you know, their realism was why we buy them. And Alan's photography just takes them head sculpts to the next level. So if you haven't actually done so already, please go to Instagram, find at the Six Scale Gallery, and just check out some of his photography. You, as real as these sculpts are, he does bring them to the next level. So definitely have to get a few tips off him. So if you haven't done so already, it's at the Six Scale Gallery on Instagram. He has a YouTube channel as well where he does these really high quality kind of how do you say, like he'd take a figure or a head sculpt and he would basically do like really high quality I don't know how to describe it, just basically kind of show reels on different head sculpts or different figures. He has one on the in-art Joker, but it's very very well worth a follow. So right, so we'll move on. We'll have another look at this other stuff. I'm actually going to get this. When it comes to the Dark Knight trilogy, it's always I will never say no. I'll have to have a look and then consider. It's always an automatic. I'll have to consider. There's never a Dark Knight. No, not interested. I'll always take a look and then I'll weigh things up. Like the Batman Begins was. The Batman Begins was actually my first Hot Toys figure, not the one that they've reissued. There's like a 3.0 at this stage that hasn't actually got better over time. But my two first Hot Toys figures were the Batman and the Joker from the Dark Knight, but it was the Batman was branded the Dark Knight, but it was actually the Batman Begins suit, because obviously he had that in the movie
From the
as
beginning,
well.
yeah.
And it was actually a great figure, but it's still, they haven't nailed that Batman Begins yet. I know Calvin, you're disappointed in that. I know
Very.
Lael's got it, but he still recognises it has
Cancel my order.
shortcomings.
I cancel my order.
Cancel your order, yeah. And Mario's disappointed by it as well. And I think Ryan, Mr. Mom's Collectible, did a showcase of very honest. It's safe to say Dean Knight was definitely disappointed. He bought it for the purpose of actually just, I suppose, having an in-hand proper review, and he fairly roasted that figure, and rightly so as well. But this one here, I think this is coming home. I have no females in my collection. I'm waiting on Ahsoka, but I have no females in my collection. This is Dark Knight, and hopefully, I'm waiting on the reviews. Hopefully it'll be good, but anyone else interested in this? James, you're getting to him?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
All day long.
Want to stock and want to rock?
Yeah.
Calvin, are you you're heading out, Calvin?
I am. Let me speak on this real quick. Again, I'm debating if I'm picking this up because technically I have the 1/6 Queen Studios statue for this one, where she's arched over
with the bike.
Yeah, I need that. I need that back arch. So
You're not saying anything, but I know exactly what you're thinking.
you know where I'm
That
going
is someone's
with
daughter. Just letting you know. Yeah, that statue is.
I know she's got those Disney princess movies out there, but I believe if I remember the movie Havoc, she wasn't somebody's daughter in that movie. If you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about.
I know what I'm watching tonight.
Look up Havoc. It's a hell of a scene in that movie. Anne Hathaway was damn. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually think. Okay, look. When I think of Catwoman, I think it's Michelle Pfeiffer. Like,
Yeah,
you know, that,
100%.
just
100%.
I find it very hard to detach from that version. But this Anne Hathaway did a. I think she did a great
she was
job with
brilliant.
Dark Knight.
Excellent
She was
casting,
she was cutthroat. Like she just the way like she she ripped off Bruce Wayne, and even like the way. Do you know the scene when they're dancing and I think they're the only two without masks on in the whole. But that's the whole thing. They're wearing their masks because they're not wearing their masks. But the way she was kind of saying, like, how can everyone live so large and leave nothing for the rest of us? She said it with such vitriol. I was like, this girl can act. This is, So that's. Sorry, continue on. You've got the 1/6 version on the way, the statue.
Yes.
With the Batpod, yeah.
Yes. So I'll be looking to get that, and then like I said, depending because I do like the background of that display piece. So we'll see. But this doesn't have that arch that other one has. Fellas, I'm gonna run out of here because I gotta get up the road. I got some people. Mario's late as always, and some of the guys are already damn near there. So I'm gonna shoot out of here. But I plan to see all you guys next week. I can't wait to have a drink with you guys.
Really looking forward to it.
We're about to get it in, so it's gonna be a good time, dudes.
Yeah, it's gonna be good fun. It's gonna be good fun.
All right,
thanks very much for turning up.
I'll catch you guys chat. Everybody, I'll see you guys later.
See you, folks. And then there were 3. Just going to address some of these chats here before we continue on. Keaton All Day says, X-Man Supreme. How are you doing, man? You good? He pretty much, I think X-Man Supreme, in terms of commenters on my video, he's probably the most consistent commenter. As in on the videos, not just the live chats videos. Yeah, he's always watching the videos. I do appreciate that. Had to grab, is that 2 Banes? That's just the way it is. Isn't this someone? I nearly send you the link and you can get in here, man. So this is a person speaking my language. Yeah, just the way it is. Favorite film trilogy in Villains. Yeah, it's my favorite trilogy too. Brandon Salad, Bane coming home, day 1, hour 1, minute 1. So it's a minute 1 pre? You mopoed this. Yeah. No, it's a minute 1 pre-order. It's a thing. Shane, you're way too kind, mate. No, I'm just calling it as I see it. I'm waiting for Mars Toys to make the 66 Catwoman.
On the cards.
They're going in that direction, aren't they?
So they've shown some prototypes for the Riddler and for the Penguin, and there was an image of the 66 Catwoman as well. So yeah.
This comment.
That's tremendous, yeah.
I
laughed at that before.
We knew it was coming, and he did not disappoint. Yeah, she's hot, but she had to weigh with words. Someone get this man a beer. Like that's
He's on
I
the
love
ball.
that. Yeah, he's on. He doesn't miss a trick. Havoc is a great film.
Never heard of it.
Just check
I'll
it
have to
out.
watch that.
I've never seen it. I don't think.
Anne Hathaway in Love and Other Drugs. I've never seen that actually.
It's a good movie. Yeah,
I've never seen it.
a rom-com kind of thing. Rom-com drama.
This is a TX Boy 210. Hey, focus and panel, great stream so far. Got to be careful and limit my wife on the amount of DC figs she gets. Otherwise, DC will try to take over my collection. Nice to see DC getting some love. Absolutely, yeah, definitely. Absolutely. Mars Toys are kind of flying that flag, really, aren't they?
Yeah.
Mars
absolutely.
Toys making a Pfeiffer Catwoman. That's a mic drop.
Oh, I haven't heard that.
Yeah, they have. I think like people, they I know they tease something and someone says like, you know, like Pfeiffer Catwoman when or Returns Catwoman when, and they said just stay tuned. So they didn't say it was happening, didn't say it wasn't happening, but saying stay tuned is as good as saying we're aware that that's a thing.
Tough one for a third party to get right, I feel, though. You know, that kind of
tough one for anyone to get right, I think.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Because like if you take Zoe Kravitz, like Zoe Kravitz is stunning. She's like, I don't think she was born. I think she was genetically grown in the lab of pure beauty. Like I've seen what that third party offering did with her. That was
awful,
hideous.
absolutely awful.
It didn't look human. Not to mention to look like her, but I think if a company with stunning looking women like that, it's very hard to get them to look right, I think. Yeah. And yeah, Michelle Pfeiffer, I think you're right, James. Yeah, it would be difficult.
It's a difficult costume as well, isn't it? Because it's it'll crease and flake and all the rest of it. It'll be interesting to see what material it may.
This one is simpler. I think this one is simpler.
Yeah.
And this had the first one, the 1. This is the 2.0. One of the reasons I'm holding off. Well, obviously, I want to see how it turns out. I obviously want to see if it's the same suit and it's inevitably going to flake, or did they change the material? Yeah. And also, as the DX19 is apparently true 1/6 scale, because the other figures before that were basically slightly shorter or undersized, I'm hoping that this proportion is in the same true 1/6 scale as a DX19. So this will be like slightly shorter. Yeah. So I want to see if they've got that right and upgraded that material, and if the head sculpt's a bit better and stuff like that. Because I think the body on the other one was very like straight down. It was not like an accurate representation of her figure. Like this is terrible. Oh my god, this looks like a pigeon. Honestly, like that neck. The neck is shorter and stumpier. They didn't even pose it right. They didn't even go, you know what, we know this figure isn't great, but if we pose this in the right way, it might look okay.
What is this? Is this Hot Toys still? Yeah.
Sorry to anyone in the chat that has this figure, but I just think the cowl, they have not got the cowl right. It's too long. The pegs on the cape are meant to be, I know I'm nitpick. I don't even think it's a nitpick. They're in the wrong place. It's not that hard for them to get them in the right place. They should be closer together there. The suit itself is glossy and shiny, and the cape isn't great either. This is unfortunate. Okay, people in the chat, please let us know if we're being too harsh on this. I'd like to hear from the people who have it in hand. I apologize if my opinion causes offense. I don't think this is a good figure. I'm disappointed by it. I didn't get it because of that. What do you think, lads?
So sorry, Shane. What is it? So I've got the DX19. I thought that was the most recent. Is this a new re-release or something? Is it? I've not seen.
Yeah, this is. So it's. This was supposed to be a 2.0. Now, to be fair, the prototype images, the cowl was too long. In the prototype images, the triangular cape clips were too wide. They weren't down here where they're supposed to be. Yeah. And the cape actually looked okay in the prototype images, but it's not as if like they showed us great prototype and then gave us this.
Yeah.
The cowl is the same as the prototype. The misplaced cape pegs, same as the prototype. They definitely did a bit of Photoshop doctoring in the prototype images. This cape is bad. And this suit is supposed to be a matte black, which the prototype images it was, but in the real thing, when it announced, it wasn't. So this is the Bat McGinn's that they did not 2.0.
Yeah. Now I'll stick with the DX19.
The DX19, they've done a great job on.
Yeah.
Great job on. Yeah.
Pass.
Yeah.
Sorry,
it's the neck, isn't it? Really, like it's
The next
said
most unforgivable thing.
Yeah, you said pigeon, and like I think you're bang on with that. Like I think the body. I know you said like it should be more.
He looks like he's about to rob a sandwich.
Yeah. I mean, I'm more of a fan of the Batman Begins design because I like a bit more bulkiness for Batman.
Yeah, I get you.
But yeah, it didn't quite. It looks like one of those 15 quid, just the arms and legs kind of articulation figures. Yeah, pass definitely.
And this is a lot of people's favorite Batsuits. And as a Dark Knight Trilogy fan, I love both suits. I prefer the DX19, but that's completely personal preference because as much as I love 89 and 92, they took place in a world which you couldn't tell if it was like the 1950s or if it was supposed to be 80s, or it was like a Tim Burton universe. Whereas I always wanted to see, I was like, okay, Batman's my favorite superhero, but he's a real guy. And how would that work? It's such a ridiculous concept. Guy dresses up like a bat. Like, the most ridiculous part of the whole thing is that he's gone through the effort to do all this, and he's doing this instead of dating supermodels and spending his billions. So how would that actually work in the real world? And I loved in that trilogy how they kind of shown how he got the costume and put together the cowls and like all the mistakes he made and stuff like that. And the DX19 for me, it looks almost futuristic, but like practical, apart from the cape, because let's face it, the cape is not practical. Yeah. But that's what I love about the figure, the panels and the armor. Like, so whereas I think maybe hardcore comic book fans, they would go back towards maybe this look or the Batfleck look, or I think that's probably a fair statement to make.
Yeah.
Just going to think through some of these. Sorry, go on.
That's the good thing about Batman. There's so many different variations, even in the comic books, of his costume. There's a different style for everybody. If you want that more realistic look, you've got it. If you want the more out there look, you've got it. I mean, look at that, the Arkham game one, the anti-freeze suit. Not for me, but it looks bloody good. It looks bulky and imposing on the shelf, so you can get any flavour of Batman you want, I suppose.
Flavors, Batman flavors like lollipops. I ordered it when the tumbler was announced. I got it. Oh well, I guess I have to futz at it. Nice. I like that. I like that. That's good. That's good. Batman Begins needs a shine down. Yeah, it does. But the thing is, you probably walk into your collection room, 12-inch Moose streaming. I'd say it'd be very hard to look at this and the tumbler when you have that Jazz Ink Batwing sitting there. I'd say it's very hard to not look at that when you go into the collection room. To be fair, let's see. The DX19 looks great. I don't like what they've done with that cape here. Now, sorry, let me be clear about that. Hot Toys don't do good capes. Yeah. But I think the DX19 cape is actually quite good. You could get better customs, but it does have to be futzed with. And I don't think whoever posed this futzed with it properly. That cape sits right here. The Batman Begins cape is drawn around him. If it was a good cape, if you get your Jackson Ju or your Tony May. But the DX19 cape, he never was like. Do you remember in Batman Begins where he's speaking to Rachel for the first time and like she gets off the train or something like that, and he's sitting there and he's the cape around, very something like out of a comic book. Like he never does that with the DX19 because the cape is actually pegged in right in the center. So they're trying to make it. It looks terrible the way they have it done here, but yeah, Batpod's great though. They just need to. It's a bad. If you watch any of my shorts with Batman or the photos on @16 Figure Focus at Instagram, the way I have it is the way I like to have it draped. But let's see if we flick through these and get something else. All right, is this of interest to you?
So, no, I haven't got a Bale. Sorry, I haven't got an Affleck. So I fancy a Batman Affleck at some point. I think I would probably go for the future look. I quite like that look. And I would like a black Superman. But other than that, no. Flash, my favourite DC character, but I couldn't have that character in my collection.
No.
And is that like based on the actor's portrayal, or is it partly based on the kind of shitstorm he's got himself involved in?
Kind of all of it, to be honest, Shane. The shitstorm is, that, but also the version of the Flash in the Justice League movie doesn't represent any version of Flash that I've read. So it's very unique, I guess. It's a mix of characters, and I just didn't. It sounds like an absolute fanboy thing to say, but it didn't fit for it being my Flash, if you know what I mean.
I've heard that. I've heard a lot of people say like he's not there. It's not their Barry Allen.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't like the DCEU films at all. The only DCEU figures I have is the Justice League Superman, because even though I don't like the Justice League, I did like Man of Steel. But the Man of Steel figure I did not like. But I like the vibrancy and the beefiness of the Justice League Superman, the blue one.
So I nearly picked that up a while ago because I'm the
It's
same
nice.
as you.
And
It really is very vibrant. But then someone mentioned, I don't know if it was one of your videos, someone mentioned that his thighs are massive. And when I couldn't take my eyes off them after that.
He did not skip leg week.
Yeah.
No.
All that working out with The Rock, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm telling you, they're all eating cookies and sushi together. But like, that's something that I'd be like, okay, that's something I would consider a nitpick.
Yeah.
But at the same time, people might say I was nitpicking when I'm talking about the Batman cowl, but I don't think I'm nitpicking with the Batman cowl. It just looks nothing like the movie. Yeah. They've exaggerated the size of his thighs and maybe even his biceps a bit, like with the Cavill Superman. But I just think the Batman Begins cowl, it just looks silly. It's just not movie accurate at all. His thighs are quite big, but when you get him, like it's such a vibrant figure. Like that's the only Superman I have in my collection. And I think Cavill was kind of born to play Superman. Like he looks the part, and he was very good. I really liked Man of Steel. But the only other DC, go on.
Sorry, mate. I kind of think the way my collection's going is now. I've mentioned this to James before. I'm probably going to end up with a shelf, and call it a multiverse shelf, where I've got all my different versions of Batman, and then I've got a comic accurate Superman. I've got a Christopher Reeve Superman. So I kind of, if I pick up a Henry Superman as well, that makes sense. And that Justice League one, like you say, the colours are just stunning in it. So I'll probably, if I see him cheap on eBay or somewhere like that, I'll no doubt jump and pick him up, I think.
Yeah, that makes sense. The only other DCEU figure I have is actually the battle damaged armored Batman. Not that I liked Batman versus Superman. I thought when they eventually fought, it was done quite well. But I like the Dark Knight Returns, the graphic novel comic, and I like the animated adaptation.
Yeah, it's very good.
I think it's just like straight lift. It looks beautiful, but and I just thought, like, if you're getting a Superman, he'd be a bit lost on its own, and because of that, like, I really liked the Dark Knight Returns graphic novel. I thought that made perfect sense because it's a cool looking, and it's with the battle damage as well. So they're next to each other, and they're more than likely never leaving the collection.
Yeah.
But out of nowhere, comes a man who needs no introductions. What's up, man?
Hey, what's up, brother? How you doing?
There are no detops behind you.
I know. Nah, I'm. You know why? Because we're in mid-pack right now. Like, so
All
we're
right.
just packing everything up and getting everything ready. So I wasn't downstairs in the office. I'm upstairs in the kitchen. So, it's a bit harder for me not to. I was like, let me just jump in because I told him I was going to be in. So we just took time out from packing. I was like, let me just jump in real quick, bro.
When do you fly?
We fly out Tuesday, but what I'm doing is, because like I said, I'm only, especially with tomorrow, it's going to be a busy day. So I'm trying to get everything done today. We got a bit of run around to do a little bit later. Plus we're fasting right now for Ramadan. So, that's something that we're in the middle of too. So it's just trying to find a time to kind of get everything done. So I was like, you know what? What? I was like, I cannot jump in on my guy's stream. So let me just come in.
Good stuff. Well, thanks very much. I appreciate you've a lot going on, and thanks very much for joining us. Have you met Peter and James before?
Not live.
Right.
Chat.
Live.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
On Instagram.
So
nice to meet you.
Finally meet them. Definitely, man. How you guys doing?
Yeah,
very good. Looking forward to next week. Can't wait for celebration. Yeah.
Yes. We are like right there away from celebration, so I cannot wait. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
That makes all four of us so basically everyone who was on the stream so far today, the 4 of us, and Calvin was in earlier, we're all going to meet each other in person later on this week. So that's going to be pretty interesting. We're just kind of flicking through the Taiwan events here.
Okay.
The Taiwan, they've opened this pop-up shop, official Hot Toys store. I'm just kind of flicking through some of these things that are taking place here. I presume, Leal, you're getting all of these, yeah?
Yeah, you already know.
Yeah. They actually look pretty cool, I think. I genuinely
These
think
are
they
the
look pretty cool.
cost baby things, aren't they?
Yeah.
I have a
actually think they
couple of
look
them
pretty cool.
from the Spider-Man video game. I have a couple.
Oh,
but,
right.
like, yeah, not
These do nothing for me at all, I'm afraid to say.
Yeah. I probably wouldn't get them, but they actually look pretty cool with the kind of silver as well. They're kind of Hot Toys version of Funkos, but a bit more upmarket or kind of thing, are they?
Yeah.
I'm trying to flick through some of these and see what's right. I think at this point in time we're going to go through like the announcements and releases for this week. So that's what we get chatting about. I think that makes sense. Anything? This is for everyone. Actually, we'll do this. We'll get this done. Okay, so this is for the panel and for anyone in the chat. Anything that was announced this week or anything that was like released this week that you are going to get. So maybe you just want to just like while I switch on to the share here, if you want to just maybe anyone want to take that one?
Oh yes. Definitely what's on my radar, which was a no-brainer for me because I love the show. I love the series. I can't wait for season 2. Is definitely the Infinity Ultron. So I'm definitely that's high on my list. Now, of course, I'm going to get Arc Trooper Jesse. I mean, that's a no-brainer. But high on my list is that Infinity Ultron figure. It was something that I could not pass up. I love What If. I love the lore behind What If. I collect the comics. So definitely that's up there. That's up there. And I didn't. It was surprising because we got 3 major releases. We got 3 releases this week, which was crazy. You know what I mean? Well, not crazy, but it was just out of nowhere. So I guess they're playing catch up right now. So we'll see what they're going to do this week. It's going to be tough this week, considering the simple fact that it is 40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi. So who knows what they're going to actually unveil as far as, or preview, or as far as like a reveal this week. But I say Ultron last week was for me. This right here, as cool as it is, the thing is, I have to be very, very selective with Iron Man armors, and this was not one. Now, somebody did do a mock-up on this, and it was like a Mickey
I saw
Mouse,
that.
a Disney version, and I was like, you know
that,
what?
yeah.
I would have got that. I would have got that. But no, that Infinity Ultron was high on my list. That was definitely.
Yeah, this one here, we might actually just zone in on this one because I think like it was a strange choice given that we know that Disney bought Marvel. We get that. And we know that, like, Marvel is massive now and Iron Man is massive now and Iron Man is their cash cow. We get all that. But maybe if a figure was Disney 100, it'd be probably better if they picked something that was a bit more, maybe you'd associate with Disney. I don't know, like Mickey Mouse, Minnie Mouse, Pluto, something like that. But I suppose then if are the main demographic, Hot Toys demographic, going to buy that? But then they have done like a Buzz Lightyear. Is Buzz Lightyear? Is that Disney as well? Is that Disney Pixar? Would that be right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that would, that makes sense. I know they've already done that, but my point is maybe do something a bit more that like is strongly rooted in the Disney lore. Like, I mean, I presume we've all heard this before. Like, but is anyone on the panel going to make a run for this? Anyone actually want to get this? I have no interest in it.
I tell you what I want. First of all, I absolutely agree. I'm a massive What If fan. I picked up the Captain Carter figure recently, so Ultron wasn't really on my radar, but I am tempted because I think it'll look good together.
Yeah.
Iron Man figures. I've got Endgame Iron Man. I want a comic accurate Iron Man. They did that one a while ago, but with a horrible plastic stuff all over it. Yeah. I want a proper comic accurate Iron Man. This I have no interest in.
You got to get. So did you get the Origins or the Origins Iron Man figure.
Which one was that again?
That's the one. That's the comic accurate. That's
Yeah.
the point. Yeah. So that
So
one. It's. I'm telling you, in person, it is an amazing piece. And I said this is like that. Amongst all the figures that I have, Iron Man, on that side anyway, that suit is my favorite. That one
Yeah.
and the Mark V.
Yeah.
So definitely those are my favorite.
But does it look all right with the plastic bits covering it, or did you remove those?
It does, bro. When you get it in hand, it's far different from the way you see it, with blogger photos, stuff like that. It looks amazing. With the swap out pieces and everything, if you want that accuracy, it is. It definitely is. It to me, it exceeded my expectations because again, that comic accuracy is what I wanted.
Yeah.
And that's what it gave me. So it looks good, bro. It looks when you see it in person, and on top of that there's certain pieces that you can swap out where the plastic isn't even noticeable.
Yeah.
It looks good. It looks good.
I'll put it on my list because they haven't released the War Machine version yet, have they? Because there was a stealth version and a War Machine.
Yeah, the stealth version, the War Machine version, those two are on the way. They haven't released those yet.
Okay.
Yeah, but that comic concept Origins version, oh my God, it's I love it. I love it, bro.
Because that's one of the. I mean, I love. As I was saying earlier, I've started collecting about a year ago, and I love all the MCU figures and all the rest of it. But I feel there's a gap for the comic accurate. So I've kind of gone to Sideshow, and I've got my comic accurate X-Men figures and all that kind of jazz.
Yeah.
The Sideshow Thor picked up, even though that's a bit of it. It's not really strict comic Thor.
Yeah.
But I want some more 1/6 scale comic versions, I guess, rather than MCU versions.
I'm more of for 1/6 like realistic, the better. So I'm not like mad that we haven't got comic versions of some characters.
You see, I was like that, but then I picked up my Masters figures. I got the Mondo Masters figures, and they are not comic accurate, but I love everything about them.
Yeah. That's the thing. It's like I have the Sideshow Wolverine. I have the Sideshow. I have the astonishing version of Cyclops.
Yeah.
And the other version as well. I have Magneto. I picked up the So Toys Gambit.
That's a fantastic figure. I mean,
it's definitely a fantastic figure to have, and I'm hoping that they kind of keep diving into that line. I mean, that's what Sideshow is good at. They should continue to do that.
Yeah.
It makes so much sense to do that.
Have you pre-ordered the So Rogue?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
I've got that one on order.
I could not pass up on that because it made so much sense. And especially the dichotomy between her Gambit, her Magneto, if you know the lore. It makes so much sense.
Yeah. I jumped on that one and got the Invincible on order as well, and also the Old Man Logan.
Old Man Logan.
The Logan one was amazing looking.
Yeah, stunning.
Yeah, that Old Man Logan looks incredible. I was trying to get Shane to get it, but Shane, he was like, "Nah, I'm not gonna do it."
Lael's mission in life is to enable me just once, man. Just once.
One time. It's going to happen one time. It's not going. It's going to take some finagling, but it's going to happen one time.
It'll be something that I'm on a knife edge with, and I'll just be in a moment of weakness. You know what I mean?
It's that Batman you've just
year,
showed. That's what it is. It's that Batman. You get that one. Pigeon Batman.
This I've said this. I think the point I made a video about this during the week, and my point was simple. A lot of these Iron Mans, aesthetically, they look fantastic. Like this does look great. Like it's the Mark 7 with a Mark 5 paint job. What's not to like? I said the base looks pretty cool as well, but it could go both ways. It could end up looking cheap. It could end up looking classy. Yeah. But my point is, I can think of probably a dozen different Iron Mans that I don't currently own or are not on pre-order that I'd rather have before this. Yeah. Like I'd rather the Mark 7, the actual Mark 7, because that was one like I find really hard to say no to, but I have to draw the line in the sand somewhere. The Mark 5 I'd rather, the Mark 5 suit up I'd rather, the Mech Test Tony Iron Man if you count that, the Mark 1 I'd rather to have than this, the construction version, the Mark 50 I don't have, the Clean 85 I don't have. So there's a lot, just off the top of my head, that comic book Iron Man, like I'm not the biggest comic book guy, I don't claim to be. However, when I really like a movie, I'll work backwards and I want to see where it all started on the pages all those like decades ago, because I love that. It started in the mind of someone. It went to a pen, and then it went to a page, and then it went to like a cartoon, and then so I think that's amazing. Like, so I have went back and watched the old, or read the old Iron Man books when he's carrying around a suitcase, and that Iron Man that you're discussing with the acrylic pieces.
Yeah,
I think I could just get over that, man. Because I know that's based on like, isn't it a crossover? It's like how one of the artists used to draw him with like a shield.
So it's his interpretation of it and how he draws the high gloss. But even in the comics, Iron Man used to use, and how he drew it was Iron Man to actually have a shield. He actually had like a vibro shield over his armor. So basically it was a way to visually see it. So they're giving you that artist interpretation. It's just that the execution. Now, I will say that what they should have did was, okay, give you those plastic pieces, but also give you a version that you can kind of remove those pieces and then have, so you have Alex Ross's interpretation, you're honoring that version, but then if you want to have it in your collection, which they have to a degree, when you're able to remove the gauntlets, the boots, there's the chest chassis that you can actually remove, the head plastic, and just, so there's certain things you can do that it looks great. Like it really does. And it literally in hand, I can't gush over it enough, bro. I love it. I love everything about that piece, bro.
And so you go get the deluxe one?
Yeah, I have the deluxe one with the suitcase, the display, and it looks good because it's how you display it, how it is in your collection. But when you put it up against all your other Iron Man figures, it looks good. It really, really looks good. It doesn't take away. Again, like you and the posing on it is phenomenal. Like it is really phenomenal because of the intricate parts that move around with that piece. The light up feature as far as the arc reactor is extremely bright. The eyes in the actual helmet is extremely bright. Like,
2 different faceplates as well, isn't it?
Yeah, 2 different faceplates. You get both.
And the light up the computers and the suitcase. That to me was a figure that's not a DX that screams DX.
Yeah. It should have been, but it's so amazing. It's a beautiful piece to have in your collection. We gave one away during Figure Flex Friday when I partnered with my bro Marco over there, Collector Zone. And I like even the guy who won it was like this, like for a week, I cannot believe how incredible this thing is. I was like, I told you, I've been trying to tell you for a long time. It is incredible. And if you get that stealth suit and if you get that war machine, God, yeah.
It's sold now, Peter.
Peter just ordered 2 there while you were talking, man.
One thing you'll learn about me is I have very little restraint. So
you don't want to meet us live, man. You don't want to meet us.
I'll pick one of those up, I think.
I mean, the thing is, I'm not going to sell you short and tell you not to get something that I don't believe in, that I don't love myself. I love that piece. Like it is really literally one of my favorites. So what I'm doing is once I'm done with my garage shelf, I'm putting together my own version of Armor Wars. I got the I bought the there was a third party Tom Cruise. The Superior Iron Man head sculpt. So I got that I'm going to use on one of the armors. And actually that, to be quite honest, that head sculpt would even look good on this armor, but I'm still not going to get it. I'm not no, I'm not.
Yeah, very cool.
I'm not doing it. But it looks good. It definitely looks good.
You just reminded me of a quote from Fight Club there. This is for you. Peter. So this is us. We are advertising here. Advertising had us chasing cars and clothes, working jobs we hate so we can buy shit we don't need. But the difference is you need this shit.
I need it.
The problem is
everything I see I need. That's the issue.
No. Okay, actually, you need to stream me more often. We go through the discipline thing. This person here, I want to shout out this person. Now, I believe this person, his name is Sean. I really, really hope this person is still in the chat, because before I had a channel, before I set up 1 6 Figure Focus, and before I even had an Instagram. I noticed that this guy was he was a collector, and I'm pretty sure his name is Sean Firmage from the UK, if my memory serves me correct. And he was just taking photos and he was posting his collection like a lot of us do. And I was like, oh, that's a good idea. It's a cool hobby. You know, you're getting connected a bit more and you're kind of engaging with your figures. And I was taking photos, but I wasn't posting them anywhere. And I was editing videos, but I wasn't really posting them either. Anyway, but I remember thinking like, yeah, maybe I should give it a go. And like, it's weird. Like it was long before I had a channel. It was maybe about 6 months to a year before I had a channel. But I was that person actually influenced me a bit, whether they realize it or not. And then, of course, like, you know, got the ball rolling with the Instagram, and people like Marco from 16fix were like, I was toying with the idea of doing a channel, and he was like, yeah, you should definitely do it. And he was really encouraging. And I edited like a pilot video for the Green Goblin, the pre-order preview, and I sent him the rough, very rough edit, and he was like, man, that looks good, man, just go for it. Like, and then obviously Lael reached out and got me on the channel, and that really got the ball rolling then. So it's funny how little things like that Sean Firmage, I'm pretty sure his name is Sean Firmage from the UK, and he has an Instagram, but I hope he's still in the chat or he watched this in the replay, because he deserves that shout out. But so no one's getting this.
Well, wait, you didn't finish the show. So he didn't tell you all the real version. So what he did was, we get him on the show, you know, he takes off, Shane explodes, and then it's like, now everybody's sitting me up, is like, hey, Lael, your display isn't as clean as Shane's.
In fairness, in your defense, you don't have Michael Caine, and he comes here once a week, and he's got the little, you know, the little lint-free yellow dusting rag, and you know, some windowing. He's like Michael Caine.
Everybody Everybody live was like, hey, Lael, there's some speck on your detox. You need to clean it up.
Yeah.
Perhaps you should consult with Shane a bit more, because we see it now.
Yeah. And every time he comes in, and I look at him and I say, you still haven't given up on them, have you? And he goes, never. Yeah, never. Man, I'm off for the next 2 weeks. Yeah. So I'm gonna go on a few streams. I'm going to watch the Dark Knight trilogy again. I usually watch it once a year, but I'm going to live dangerously. Shout out to Dan and Carbonate. Actually, Dan and Carbonate, I know this is very last minute, and we're probably only have maybe a half an hour left here, but I will send you the link if you'd like to join in, because Dan and Carbonate, I believe it's from the UK as well, we'll be going to Celebration next week. Hopefully might meet up and see him. I can send you the link if you want to jump in here and really say hello. But has a YouTube channel as well, and is a collector as well. It's Firmage. It is Sean. Have had a few life events that prevented me from posting on Instagram now, and forgot my password for it. It's nice to know people do the same kind of stuff that I do as well. I can't recover the account either. I really appreciate the shout out. Well, you know, you can always set up another one, mate, if you want to. Sorry, I can't catch more live streams. I never understood why people apologize for missing live streams. We understand people have lives and stuff like that. Sorry, I can't catch more live streams, but always watch them after the fact. I do the same with the American ones because they're on too late for me. And Dan the man, is that like you're good to go? You want the link? Because I can send on the link to you. That's no problem whatsoever. Just give us a thumbs up if you want the link. I presume that is, but I might send it on to you anyway while we chat about the next thing. So what is the next thing? So look, can we all agree this looks good, but none of us are getting it?
Yeah.
Spot on.
Right. Yeah. I'm not getting in the rat race here. The 300 sideshow. I know. Okay. I gotta say, this is the Ultron that we should have got.
Yeah.
I personally think, but we know then there would only be 2 Avengers films then.
Yeah.
You can't beat this guy. I'm sorry. Like, I love this episode. I actually really liked What If. Some episodes more than others. Yeah. The Strange and I prefer this over the Strange. I loved this concept. It was so meta. It was like, all right, so he actually will bond with Vision. He has the best of Vision's traits, and he's also got Ultron's traits. Super. Now he got the stones. If he can think it, it can happen. There's no way you can beat this guy.
It was that bit when the Watcher realizes that he can hear him and he's talking to him. He's punching through reality. It was just super.
Like when the biggest insult, the biggest insult is you get Thanos who steps through the actual portal, and all he says was, "Interesting." Cuts him in half, bro, like,
Yeah,
this
that was amazing.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
yo, that is boss. Like, that is really boss. Like, this the interpretation. Now, mind you, we didn't get this interpretation in the comics, but even still, it was crazy. I was like, yeah, I'm all in. I'm all that one scene. I'm all in. I'm
Yeah,
in.
and I think a lot of people felt like Ultron was kind of undercooked in his own movie, and I feel like this kind of redeemed that completely. You know, amazing interpretation.
I'm absolutely hyped for season 2, but I have to say I'm more hyped for Marvel Zombies. I cannot wait for that. That is going to be superb.
Yeah. Which I believe, you bring up an interesting point. I believe that is one of the reasons why we haven't seen them release that zombie cap yet. Why that hasn't come to pre-order. It could be because of that. They want to actually go in on that whole zombie line and save that, because that would make sense. Because I'm telling you, if they release that zombie Scarlet Witch, I am all the way in. If they do that, I am all the way in, because that zombie line is incredible. I'm with you. I'm really excited for it.
Superb.
This thing is awesome. Like,
it is.
Now Peter, watch. This thing looks amazing. It was amazing in What If. It will look amazing on my shelf, but I'm not getting it. Because I just can't. It's not a line I can go into, because then it'll be on its own, and it's
man. Get the Peggy cap. She's phenomenal. She's a superb figure.
It is.
She look great. I haven't got the Hydra Stomper yet, but that's on the list.
I have the Hydra Stomper. I have Steve Rogers. I have the Peggy Carter.
Yeah.
This shit's creepy.
But yeah, bro, I'm telling you, this piece is Chef's Kiss to me, bro. It is. Yeah. It is. Mm-hmm. It's Chef's Kiss, bro. It's phenomenal.
I heard a lot of people say that he skipped leg day, but obviously they made this animated and accurate to the animation. Like, if you want to say he skipped legs day, go and watch the 90s Batman animation. Batman, like, huge jaw, huge shoulder, and he's basically a big triangle. It is not anatomically correct, but that's what's cool about it.
Yeah. Take a look at the Mondo figure.
Yeah, Mondo figures. Yeah. I didn't realize. Do you get the crushed Iron Man helmet with it?
I was thinking, do they, or did he just take that off another figure?
I think
that came with something.
That was, because I can't. Hold on, let me actually look in close in with it.
Oh, what did that come with?
That was so that actually came with
was it Team Suit Tony?
No.
You know, it irritates us when they do that, because I picked up the Sam Wilson Captain America, haven't seen a load of pictures of it, and I loved the base he was on. And it wasn't until I received the figure I realized you don't get that bloody base with it. The base is off a previous figure. You know, the kind of the rock base, the Avengers base that he's standing on in a lot of the images they sent.
Yeah. Look, I'm just going to bring in Dan here. Again, I've never spoke to Dan before. I've chatted to him on Instagram, and I know that he's been collecting for a long time, and he's got a beautiful, I believe it's a module case set up. And I've been messaging back and forth with him, so I'm just going to bring him in here now.
How you doing, guys? How you doing?
Hi, Dan. Hi. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, how are you?
How are you getting on? We're just going to complete. We're just going to make it awkward now and solo you. This is your initiation. You are now soloed. Right.
God.
So, tell us about yourself, Dan.
I've been collecting from Christopher Reeve Superman. So 2000, 10 years, 11 years. Just sold and bought loads of figures. Went all in on Ghostbusters and my collection was everywhere. And then a few years ago, just decided to go all Star Wars. And then watched Endgame and Infinity War, and then went half and half, and it's just. Then I've gone back to all Star Wars again, and then just got module cases the last few months. Just been collecting and just loving it, and just trying to condense my collection and not buy too much and get caught in the hype train, if you know what I mean, at the moment. So, but it's all good.
Guys, as far as being put on full screen in your first 2 seconds and being like cool under pressure, that was pretty damn good. I'm impressed.
Yeah,
Fair play, man. That was cool. Most people, you put them on full screen, they just that was very good. Thanks very much for coming on and answering the call very
thanks
late.
for having me.
Yeah, man, no problem at all. So, what do you think about this Ultron? Are you do you have like lanes that you will go down and roads that you won't go down, or is this something that you're like, yeah?
Yeah, well, I was speaking to you this week, and actually, I watch a lot of layout shows about. I've actually the bottom. You can't really see it, but like the bottom shelf there is. I've gone all Star Wars apart from the bottom shelf since getting it, and I've gone Batman. I've got Michael Myers because I love my Michael Myers stuff, and they're like custom things. But
is that a DX19?
That's a DX19.
My man.
Batman, the Justice League bats. The normal one, not the other suit, the normal suit with the headscarf. And then the Superman, which I wasn't going to get, but I've got the in-art Joker coming from Kit, and I've not paid for it yet. And I spoke to you this week. I was like, man, do I get it? Do I need it? Is the hype train? And you've been speaking.
You were asking the wrong person. I was always going to say yes.
No, but I was watching one of Lael's shows this week about you talking about, is it worth, because I could just cancel it, save myself £1,000, and then, I was even thinking about selling all the Batman again and going, let me go back and get IG-11, go all Star Wars again and go real deep into Mando because the hype's there. It's so weird, isn't it, with the hype train?
Lea looks like he's gonna tell you off.
Listen,
Lea looks. Lea's gonna hit you some knowledge now. He's gonna tell you off. You're gonna get scolded.
All I'm gonna say is, bro, like the thing is, regardless of everything that we've been through because remember, as far as like the shipping fiasco, the delays and everything, I will tell you that is worth it, bro. It is worth it once you get it in. It depends also. Now, the thing is, it's like, I don't want to tell you what I think you should do, but I tell you, you will not be disappointed. The vision for it and what InArt has done with that piece. And again, like, I will tell you, like, a lot of what you've probably heard, I will say across the board, a lot of that stuff is user error. I'm sorry. And I don't want to basically say it in a way that I'm discrediting or, challenging a person's character. But I'm just saying a lot of it is user error. When you get it in, you take those particular stories and you'll know exactly what not to do. You know what I mean? But getting it in hand, bro, once you have it in hand, I know a lot of people were like, it's tight around the collar, so it's hard to put that head sculpt on. But I think it's tight for a specific reason. It is. Because once you get it in, it makes so much sense. Once you get that head sculpt on that neck post, it makes so much sense. The figure
I completely agree.
It does. Like, once you actually have it in hand, it makes a lot of sense. And you have the DX19, it's going to look so good next to that. Having it in hand, it makes a hell of a lot of difference. Even the packaging is incredible, bro. Like, the thing is, they don't. I think, and Shane, I think you touched on this before. I think they kind of overcompensated. Like, they didn't really have to have it that big. The box didn't really. There was a way that they could have actually scaled that down.
It was their first figure. They wanted to make a statement. But when I die, that's going to be my tombstone.
Yeah, like literally.
I thought you were going to say buried with you.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, the figures will be buried with me, but the tombstone, that's going to be it looks like a tombstone, man.
Exactly. So I think it's. I mean, look, I'm a diehard Star Wars fan to the point that I almost
too, man.
back. Literally, the past 2 weeks, I was sitting back and I was like, you know what? I collected comics all my life. So I'm a Marvel DC fan all my life. But do I need everything from the cinematic universe? No, I don't.
Yeah.
So I can scale back on that. But when it comes to Star Wars, I don't give a damn what you release. You can release a mouse droid in its own little pack and I'll buy it because it's Star Wars. You know what I mean? Because that's just basically where I'm at. I love Star Wars. I sleep, eat, drink the franchise. So of course that's going to take up everything. But I have a soft spot for DC because DC doesn't get a lot of love. Not the love that it needs. So if you ask me, bro, that Joker is worth it. I'm just going to say it's worth it. Once you get it in hand, you'll see and you'll be like, oh my God, was I really going to pass this?
And I think what you said is that I think because I'm saying not the last to get it, but I'm quite, near the end of the cycle.
You're definitely not the last to get it.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, really? Okay. But what I'm saying is that because you've seen so many people get it,
Yeah.
not the hype train's dying, that's the wrong word, but, I'm like, there's a lot more things coming in that I'm thinking, I wish I'd got this 2 months ago. Do you know what I mean?
It is, and that's the thing is like the hype for it is there. Like, put it this way, we want to move on from it because the discussion's been had for months. But once you get it in hand, it's like it is worth all of that. Even what Shane's basically been through, what a lot of people have been through.
I'm seeing double, man. I have two of the same head sculpts. The problem is they're still both
Wow.
I outlined this earlier on, Dan. It's like this.
Yeah.
If you look at two extremes, let's say there's a car accident, there's two different extremes, and one person said it was person X's fault, and the other person says it's person Y. Usually the truth is somewhere in the middle. So what we have in the community is we've got the people who want in-art to fail. And then we've got the other side of things, there's people that think that in-art are going to be a Hot Toys killer. Somewhere around the middle is where the truth is.
Yeah.
Like, this thing looks stunning, but it'd be wrong of me to sweep under the carpet the things that are wrong with it. You know what I mean? It would just be wrong. Like, because then I'd be putting something out there, maybe someone else gets the two same head sculpts. Or maybe someone else has the issue with the things bobbing around the pack. You know what I mean? That would be just wrong. Like, so it's beautiful. It's amazing. I think it was definitely worth the hassle. And hopefully Lion Rock come true. They've already contacted InArt and they said InArt when they're sending out the next batch to them, they'll include the extra head sculpt.
Do you have to send the other one back?
I don't know yet, but I'll sell it to you for $300.
I was going to say, straight on eBay.
Yeah. Well, it's
collectors, man. Like, is that we can pinpoint because we've been doing it for so long. We can see the flaws, but at the same time, we can be as sometimes forgiving of those flaws as well because we come to expect it. With any company, like Hot Toys has flaws. We know that most, Sideshow has flaws, of course. We know So Toys can have flaws because, again, they're just more so of a third-party company, and right now we're seeing with InArt, there's some, weighted issues even when it comes to the die cast, the when they're talking about the stand itself with the magnets, I think it's all about position, but it depends on how you're going to utilize it. The thing is, if you're going to go with that standard museum pose that everybody's using, of course, you want to kind of make sure you're doing it the right way. But no company, I think, and I think that it's good that we see those flaws in the very beginning because now we're able to say that, this company, they're just getting off the ground. They're trying to fine tune some things, and I'm pretty sure they kind of welcome your responses, and they have been transparent. That's the thing is. A lot of companies, not Hot Toys, but a lot of companies have been transparent when it comes to certain things. So we welcome that. But again, I think it's all about the interpretation, but I don't think you'll be disappointed.
No, I'm looking forward to it. But it's funny you said that about comics when you think this is my I always keep it. This is my first ever. This is what got me into collecting. Is Bespin Han from 1980, and I've still got it. It's the first one. The first thing that it's even got like the paint rub and everything. I played with it so much.
Yeah, bro.
You want to keep that away from Harrison Ford, man. Keep that away from Harrison Ford.
But this is what got me into collecting.
Yes.
This is the root of all evil. This is the
Yeah.
thing that's.
Bro,
Like,
I was telling people a long time. So seeing the movie in 1977, I remember when Lucas, and knowing that Lucas, George Lucas had the merchandising license and the rights at that time, Kenner was the one who came on board to release those figures. But remember at that time, we used to get because the figures weren't available yet, you had to pre-order and you got those cardboard cutouts. And so I had them for every figure that I wanted. I had to wait.
You know how much they're worth now, man.
Exactly, right? So I have that. I have my Vader case still with it. I have the Millennium Falcon. I still have the Sand Speeder. I have everything from that particular line. But I remember those things, and you're right. That's what took me down that road. And it possessed us when it came to collecting, you know what I mean? And when you think about that, it's damn, look how far we've come. Wow.
I know, it's crazy. And I mean, even with these though, like you look back and how much fun kids had. There was nothing else, was there? There was nothing else like this for years until probably like Master of the Universe. And I remember getting A-Team, you know, the A-Team ones that the Galoot were a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
And then they did these sort of size as well.
Yeah.
And you know, it just, I've got a friend that collects the graded boxed Star Wars, you know, like the original graded. And I mean, he's spending $7,000 on a figure now, you know, it's crazy.
Hey Dan, check it out. So I'm gonna take you in the mind of Little Shane. Imagine somebody basically walking up to Little Shane and being like, Shane, this figure's amazing. You should get it. Little Shane be like, no, I think I'm gonna wait. Because I got a feeling that when I get older, there's going to be some incredible figures released, and I just want to wait and just see how that's going to pan out.
No, it's mad, isn't it?
I'll tell you a story, right? So, like, when I was really young, yeah, like a lot of us here, I had a few Return of the Jedi Kenner figures. I believe they were called Kenner at the time because it didn't Hasbro buy out Kenner. Wasn't that how it worked?
Mm-hmm.
I think it was called Kenner before Hasbro.
Yeah, it was Kenner. It was definitely Kenner because Kenner had
so like
that's
had like, you know,
and everything. Yeah,
I think it was like an Endor. I'm not sure if it was Endor Luke or it was like an Endor Rebel, and then there was like a Gamorrean guard and like there was a Tusken Raider and stuff like that. And at some point in time, like my mom cleaned my room because I was a teenager, you know. It was like she gave a few figures to a neighbor's son down the street.
Oh no, no. Don't tell me that story, bro.
I hope this is not a derogatory phase, but I went full Indian giver. I went and I said, look, it wasn't hers to give, the sentimental value. It got awkward between the families, but like, come on. But I got the kid something else though, you know. So
I just don't think back then no one knew what these would be like, though, did they? No one knew that these figures were the benchmark and the start of figure collecting, really. And I think we had $6 million man like action G.I. Joe size things and all that. But these were the
it's the value attached to them now as well. So part of my collection is very much rooted in nostalgia. So I've gone back and bought all of the cartoon series that I used to like. So I've got He-Man, Thundercats, Visionaries, Centurions, you know, all those. Mask, love Mask. I've got all the Mask videos, figures, you know.
Yeah. Did you say Centurions?
Centurions, Power Extreme.
Did you say the Visionaries with the 3D fan on the
now, hey, I would love a 1/6 scale Visionary with click-on accessories. You know what I mean? That would be amazing. Yeah.
Never gonna happen, Peter. I don't think.
How dare you? I can dream.
Don't see it. Don't take it.
I was one of the guys when the Phantom Menace came out, and my loft is full of Power of the Force figures that are boxed. I've got hundreds upstairs in the box. You go on eBay, and I'm thinking, you know, I might sell the Phantom Menace line and get a couple of Hot Toys, but you can't get anything for them. They're not worth anything.
They made too much. Like there's a really great video by Mr. Sunday Movies. And he went through like the marketing campaign leading up to Phantom Menace and how they just overproduced everything. It's a really good one. Yeah,
it went similar to
favorite figures is
Sideshow Hot Toys in 2020. Like, you know, it's
anybody remember?
It's a lesson in supply and demand.
Yeah.
Can I just? I want to go through some of these. Go on.
Brave Star. Anyone remember him?
Yes. Was he a cowboy?
Yeah. Cowboy with a massive horse. I've got him as well. Picked him up recently.
I must. I just want to address some of these chats here. I pulled this up on a screen because it actually was Tony Stark, Peter. The Tony Stark team suit came with this Battle Damage Mark 50, I believe. So that's what the blogger used with Ultron. So I want to actually address this. Earth616 Collector says, InArt has made others destroy the other head sculpts and send proof. If when Line Rock have said, I've already said that before, they're waiting. InArt have said that they're going to when they send them their next batch of Jokers, they'll include the head sculpt and send it on to me. If they want proof, that's no problem. I will make a stream about that or a video. I'll go out into the back garden, I'll get a can of Lynx, and I'll get a lighter, and it actually, it's such a shame though, because like I could give that to another collector or seller or whatever. Like,
Yeah,
Me.
if I have to burn it, I'll burn it.
See,
I'll make a video out of it.
you're not telling the truth again, bro. No, this is Shane's excuse to book another trip and ski snowboard so he can put it in the snow and you can
Good
see
self correction. We got Sean as well. Love Dan's display. You're getting the shout outs already, Dan. I've watched a good few of his videos and his setup is something to aspire to. Nice one. Shiny saying haha. We've got are they custom displays? Modu cases, Dan, I believe, yeah?
No, they are Moducase 165s, so they're the
Good
long
stuff.
ones. So they're good.
Excellent.
I mean, to be honest, I'll just take it. So I'm really happy with them, and they only took 8 months. I was really, I ordered them in April, and they came just at Christmas. So it's pretty good. Yeah.
Not bad. That's not bad. That's
Yeah,
not
it's
bad
good.
at all. Who's that?
Oh, that's daughters. That's my 2 daughters. Probably arguing in the background.
That's brilliant. That is brilliant. Yeah. Are they watching you in the stream now? And they'll be like,
No, they're not.
no.
They're not. No.
Gotcha. So what do I've got something ready here now. All right, this is the one we got to go on to. So we'll move on to, there's like 2 more things to get through and then we'll wrap it up. So we've got here, this is the Silver Centurion from Iron Man 3. I believe this is $450 odd. It's USB powered, everything apart from the head. I'm sorry, but that is just daft. That is just daft. I don't get why they do these things like that. I presume it must be an engineering thing. They couldn't make it happen. I'm willing to bet that no one in the panel is getting this.
Nope.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I think are we Iron Man'd out, or is it a case that we could think of? I can think of 12 Iron Man I'd rather get than this, the same as the D100.
Because like once a week, Hot Toys puts out an announcement picture. I think it's every like Thursday or something. And whenever I log on to check what it is, Iron Man, I'm like, oh, okay. The following week, like even if it's not something I want to get, I'm interested to see what they're doing and stuff on. So like, it's
I
always
gotta say, like, okay, Iron Man 3 is my least favorite Iron Man movie. I've gotta say, I think the circuitry and the blue light under this is very impressive. I do like that. Aesthetically, I can see positives on it. But the 2 knives he's got, come on now, like that's, out of all the high-tech weaponry that Iron Man has, we're going to give him 2 bread knives. This was cooler when RoboCop did it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like RoboCop did it better. It's like, who wore it better? So we're going to move on from this, and we're just going to go to the last one, Jesse, because I think that's probably a more interesting, a more interesting topic, I'd say there.
Yes.
So I presume you're getting Jesse, Lael, yeah?
Oh my God, yes. I think the thing is, out of all of the clones that we've actually gotten, this ARC, which again, it should be ARC Trooper Jesse instead of Clone Trooper Jesse. They should actually said ARC Trooper. This dude guy, give him his credit. But the head sculpt itself is incredible with the tattoo of the 501st tattoo on his head. I love that, bro. I love it. I'll definitely have it. Now, I didn't pre-order it. I didn't pre-order for a reason because, from what we've seen, history is showing right now, majority of the clones that they've actually released are still available. You can still basically get yourself, a Rex. You can get majority. I mean, of course, Cody's been gone a while ago, but still, you can still get yourself a Rex. They're pretty much available right now. Here's the crazy part is, Shane, I told myself, I was like, look, now I'm not getting any more clones, right? I'm gonna kind of just wait and just, scale back on clones, especially with the shinies, the all white coming soon. I'll have those, but I was like, I'm not going to get any more. Then they show us the episode last week.
Sorry, I'm allergic to bullshit. Go on.
Exactly, right? They show us the episode last week with Keller and Beck. And, we see the clones again. When you see the clones live action, more practical and not animated, it's like, oh, now I got to go back and get those 501st, the repaint, because they look good. But yeah, I'm definitely going to get this. I have to get Jesse. I definitely have to get Jesse.
Anyone else here chomping at the bit for Jet. This looks very cool. I know that every single stream have reported this as being very cool, but this is very cool.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, that's just very cool. And he's got that visor thing that comes down as well, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Yeah, that's pretty damn cool.
Uh-huh. Definitely.
It's kind of like a blend between Data and like one of the Bad Batch or something similar to be. Pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Gotta have it, bro. Gotta have it.
This here looks great. Yeah,
It's very good. Yeah.
Yeah, because Cody is the only prequels figure I have, but it's just he's never leaving the collection. It's just as far as troopers go, it just looks awesome.
Yeah, it does. It definitely does.
Yeah.
I think for me is with my collection, I've gone. I like to collect like one trooper per. You know what I mean? So I've got like the white A New Hope Stormtrooper, then I've got a Snow Trooper, then I've got a Scout Trooper, then I've got a Shore Trooper, Mud Trooper, Patrol Trooper, Death Trooper, and then I want to pick up a shiny, and then even I've had it 3 times already. Get the First Order Stormtrooper, which is like a statue on the end. I've had it 3 times. I bought it 3 times. They're awful figures. The First Order ones, in my opinion, just don't do anything. But I really like this. But I like to have like sort of all the grunts, if you know what I mean, just standard each one because of the line. But I mean, when you look at all these together, all the clones together, and where you can build the armies, it is one of those where you think, oh man, they look so good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, these troopers. Are you okay for a while, or do you got to dip out, Lil?
I can dip out. You said you got like one more topic or something like that?
No, this is it, and we're going to wrap up. I think. Like.
Okay, I can stick around.
Cool. Okay. So does anyone else? Again, this is one of those things where I gotta stay in my lane. It's Clone Wars. I can't do it, and I don't think I've ever seen a clone from Star Wars Clone Wars that I didn't like the design of. In the same way, I've never seen a Bad Batch figure that I didn't like the design of, and I do have to resist. As I just can't afford to get everything. So the troopers I collect tend to be original trilogy, Mandalorian, Rogue One. So it's live action basically. But this, you know what? Actually, it's a weird one. But earlier on, we were looking at display that Star Wars display. I think it was a Kenobi display. It's not screen accurate, but the Vader with the broken mask, flanked by 2 of those live action clone troopers. That'd be pretty cool. Like, I know it didn't happen in Kenobi, but you know, because like I'm getting the Vader because I could pose it with the the broken mask and the battle damage, which will look stunning on its own. But then can swap out and put on the clean parts, and it'll be a stand-in for my original trilogy Vader and pose it next to Bespin Luke. But yeah, it's definitely something in the back of my mind there. But
was that a new head sculpt as well? Have you talked about it? Was that a new Obi-Wan head sculpt? Because it looked new.
I don't know, because I know reviews at Rich in the private chat popped it in and goes, it looks like they fixed Kenobi, and a few people are like, yeah, it does look a bit different. But then we were kind of looking and going, we're not fully convinced, because it could be just lighting that benefits it. We're not sure, but I'm hoping it's right. Because that definitely, that head sculpt definitely needed an improvement. Like,
I just think with Star Wars, with troopers, we're all going through the Clone Wars, but I think, and I've said it before, is that I can't understand why Hot Toys have not done a TIE Fighter pilot, because obviously they're in every movie.
Andor.
And also,
like he popped up in Andor, and I think I posted on my story going, we all saw it, it's coming, and I think several other YouTubers had posted it. That's probably my favorite trooper design.
And also because it was my second figure, the AT-AT driver. Why have they never done an AT-AT driver? Yeah. That was my second Star Wars figure ever.
Printing money.
Figures from Sideshow. I have the Sideshow version.
Yeah. I was tempted to pick them up.
Yeah, they're amazing figures to have. Like, literally.
Are they quite good? Will they work next to a Hot Toys Hot Stormtrooper?
Yes.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah,
definitely. They look so good. Like they really do look good, and they bode well It complements your display. The thing is, I hate the simple fact that I only got one of each. I would have loved to get two, but you know,
Yeah.
just we having them, they still look good.
Yeah, cool. Thanks, man.
Yeah. So anyone else? Anything else? So in conclusion, who's getting these? I know Lael is definitely getting Jesse. Anybody else?
No, like I said earlier, I've got a limited Star Wars collection. I've got my Luke, my Vader, and I've got Mando coming tomorrow. These look very, very cool, but I've just not got the shelf space at the moment.
Yeah, I'm the
Okay,
same.
so you're only getting 4. Okay, grand, cool. And James, I know you're. I think you're being selective, so I'm guessing you're not getting this.
Yeah, Troopers isn't really a route I'm gonna go down. So I mean,
Rabbit
they do look
hole.
amazing. Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, they look great anyway.
Excellent, good stuff. So, look, thanks very much for. This is a longer stream than I usually do, so thanks very much to the 43 people who have stayed with us in the end. I really appreciate that. Appreciate you watching. So we're gonna go. First of all, I'm gonna start off with the. Hey, you new guy, right? So, do I have your credentials right there at Dan in Carbonate on Instagram and YouTube?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, good.
Excellent. So, like, you're relatively new to the YouTube game that you've been collecting for long. Where are you at? Like, how many subs do you have roughly?
I'm on about 190 or something like that.
Good
It's,
stuff. That's actually pretty good going.
It's
'cause
all
you only
right. I
started a
mean,
while
I've been
ago.
doing it for so long, and it's always something that I've always wanted to be interested in. I think since getting the module cases, I went through a stage of, not having my collection displayed. So since I got them, I was like, I've got the buzz again. So yeah, that's great. I'm
Good
enjoying it.
stuff. So it's the kind of passion has been
Massively.
reinvigorated then. Excellent,
Yeah.
good stuff. So look, if you haven't done so already, you can follow at Dan in Carbonate on Instagram and YouTube. Definitely those handles, those at handles have made things a lot simpler on YouTube.
Yeah.
So I'll just go from right to left on my screen. I want to find 1/6 scale man's tag. There we go. So Lael, what's coming up on the channel?
Nothing. Celebration is
Nothing.
I'm not doing a thing this week. I won't be doing comic book talk with friends tomorrow evening, which normally I do. I don't know how. The thing is, I said that I might be doing a stream from Celebration, but I doubt it. I don't know. It just depends on how everything actually works. I mean, everything is just so expensive. Even I had to change my data plan over to make it safe. For my, just so I can, have calls, with the kids, to be able to call back and make sure the kids are taken care of. Yeah, I don't know. I think, again, I'm not going to be doing anything until I get back. So we'll probably do like a highlight show once we get back, say what Wednesday would probably be the next show, which would be the Wednesday after next. So that'll be the next show coming. So stay tuned for that. Who knows what we're going to get as far as a release or reveal? Because that's another thing that we got to remember. 40th anniversary this week. There's going to be a couple of reveals. 20th anniversary still of Clone Wars. There's going to be a few reveals. So I hope you're ready for that. Shane, here's the thing, because we'll be at Celebration, but I doubt that Sideshow is going to really have a presence. I don't know if Hot Toys is going to have a presence at all. I'm not sure. But we just have to kind of wait and see. But I know there's going to be a lot of announcements, so we'll wait on that.
There will, I'd be very surprised if Sideshow and Hot Toys aren't there, fine. But I'd be very surprised if they don't capitalize. I know they're not the greatest for syncing up their announcements or releases with any sort of events. Like, this is the company, I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times, this is the company that released Pennywise the Clown at Christmas. Not Halloween, Christmas. So I would be surprised though if they don't at least throw up a few 40th anniversary announcements for Celebration. We know if it's not Celebration, it's definitely May 4th. Yeah. Also, you're like, if you're going drinking pints with me, we're definitely not going to be streaming, Leia. Let's be real.
I think that's the exact reason to stream.
Remember when Leia got banned from YouTube? Thanks very much for dipping in. I know you're extremely busy with the packing, and it's not too bad for myself or James. Like, we're only like an hour away, and we're only staying for a day or two. But you have a bigger visit to go on, so no, I appreciate you stepping in. And James, again, there's your tag, I believe. So what's coming up?
James T. Keegan. I'd say I'll probably do a few vlog kind of things at Celebration anyway. And then on my usual shorts, like the ranking franchises videos and stuff like that. So that's all I kind of have planned at the moment.
Good stuff. Good stuff. It was actually nice having a fellow Irishman on the stream. Definitely, you're always welcome. And then Triple G, can you actually just one more time, because Lael didn't hear it. What did you get in this week?
Oh, I can't even remember.
Go no.
Infinity War, Doctor Strange, Kingpin, Daredevil, Luke Skywalker. What else did I get? Oh, the Mars Toys Joker, In-Art Joker. But I only got the sculpted version, so I want the rooted one that you're going to give us, Sean. But yeah, got a few bits.
That was this week. So the first round is on you.
So my channel is predominantly comic book. That's how it started off. But I got into the 1/6 scale figures. I've now got a review video for a figure booked in until September.
Man,
all stacked up, ready for September till September.
God.
yeah, bro.
Good stuff. Well, thanks very much to everyone in the chat who has participated in the live stream, either watching or liking or subscribing or anything like that, or just asking questions, answering questions, and Shiny for his general humor. We couldn't do it without you. If you want to support the channel, if you want to like the video and subscribe or check out any of the videos that I announced later on, so you can follow me at 16figurefocused on Instagram or at 16figurefocused here and subscribe on YouTube. So massive thank you to everyone. Looking forward to Celebration, and that was a good stream. Really enjoyed it. See you, folks.
Thanks.
Bye.
Good luck.